Hello everyone and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Sunday. Hope you're doing well today. I figured I'd stream early because I'm certainly not going to try and counter-program the Super Bowl. So, yeah, we're doing Sovereign Citizens today. Should be fun. I still expect it to be a pretty chill stream. I can't imagine as many people will be here because they're probably getting ready for Super Bowl parties or whatever, but I thought it'd still be good to stream today. So how's everyone doing? Sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I wasn't feeling very well, and also on Saturdays the stream has been kind of fucky anyway, so I figured it's okay to take yesterday off. So let's see what's going on. We're on a hype train, 68% to level 1. If you want to help that out, you can use bits or you can use subs. Altered Undying with 100 bits says, "Be afraid. Me, Green Guy, and Just a Peach are in Discord voice chat together with one Dr. Worm. I would say be afraid, but there's too much ADHD here for us to be legit harmful. Chat is not allowed to unionize. That's a rule. God damn it." That actually makes me anxious. People watching me, but they're all in a room together, online, talking. That's a lot of pressure. I'll deal with it, though. Miss Quilanius with 55 months says, "Take my license, all that jive. I can't travel 55. Nearest Crow Hill, thanks for 55 months also, says 55 months apparently. I'm really feeling like an idiot because I accidentally dropped all my keys down my apartment's elevator shaft yesterday, and I can't get a hold of anyone because it's Super Bowl weekend. My wife had her set of keys to let me back in, but I still feel like a moron for dropping them in the first place. That sucks so bad. I hope you're able to get them soon. What a nightmare." M. Scheffler says, "Hannah and Chad are my Super Bowl." Oh, thank you. I won't have nearly as many obnoxious AI ads, would be my guess. So that's good. Yeah, I'm not against sports. I'm happy for people who like sports. I just don't get it. I don't even like the commercials. I get hanging out with people, though, if you have a party or whatever, and eating, like... Do other people do that? What is that? The chicken dip that people make? Maybe that's a Michigan thing, or is regional? I don't know. It's good, though. Just standard SovCit AI slop. I actually don't think we have AI slop today, so that's good. Look at Kat. Doesn't she look great? I say after I put on 10 pounds of blush accidentally. What are you gonna do? Glass houses. Anyway, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor and hit the like button. Helps the stream get discovered by new people occasionally, which is nice. Procgom, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs and getting us over level 1 of the hype train. Appreciate you and anyone else willing to gift subs. It really helps. Couldn't do the stream without you guys. Alright, what are we gonna start with? You prefer the Puppy Bowl? That's completely fair. I remember the first Puppy Bowl. Alright, let's see. I wanted to point this out in case anyone knows, by the way, there is a new Shakira Flabbergasted video. She's not a SovCit, but we had watched some of her previous freakouts on SovCit streams. We're not going to watch it. It's just depressing. We're watching that woman and her boyfriend destroy their lives slowly, and now the child is, like, in the custody of the state. Too depressing to watch, so don't ask. It's real bad. There's a kitten bowl now. That sounds better to me, but I'm biased. Okay, what are we gonna do first? I have some gurus today. That might be fun. Terradona, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs. Oh, one of Cameron's people did the SovCit thing and actually got away with it. The cop let him go. That's rare. You don't see that a lot these days, so we might get to watch that. I want to start with this video. This lady isn't a traditional sovereign citizen, but she behaves in very similar ways, and there's a window smash. So let's get this one out of the way, because it's pretty entertaining. This woman was driving 100 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour speed zone. That goes beyond ticketing. I think that actually is like a crime. That's like reckless driving. So she doesn't take it very well. Let's check it out.
12th, 2025. While on patrol, a deputy stopped a vehicle traveling 100 miles per hour in a 50 miles per hour zone and conducted a traffic stop.
Freeline, thanks for 31 months, says, I think that's supposed to be holy shit, but you wrote holly shit. M. Scheffler says, how am I going to feel better about my life if I don't see others destroying theirs? If it makes you feel better, it never makes me feel better. It makes me feel worse. So, I guess I'm just doing it for the self-harm? I don't know. Hey, James.
Get out of your car.
Her body language is immediately so standoffish. Sweet Lily Love, thanks for 100 bits.
What?
Step out of your car.
What?
Step out of your car.
Are you gonna arrest me?
Are you gonna arrest me? Probably.
Me too.
Ah, thanks for a 90 stream streak.
I'm 1050, Papa X-Ray Mike, Zulu 95. Be just west of the Dollar General.
She did not pull over far enough. She's halfway in the lane. What the fuck?
Hey! 1552, I got one refusing to get out of the car, 35. Step out of the car now. Step out of the car. Step out of your car.
Yeah, she just keeps honking the horn. I'm not entirely clear on what she thinks she's doing by honking the horn in response to the cop, but she'll do it throughout the video, so she thinks she's doing something, even if just a tantrum. I'm not sure. A minute left on the hype train.
Are you at County Road 21?
1552. I'm just west of County Road 21 on State Road 20. Ma'am, let me see your driver's license. Ma'am, I'm about to break your window. Get out of the car.
Like, what does she think that means? Just a little beep. Is that a I heard you, but fuck you? She calls her mom, by the way, and tries to get the officer to talk to her mom, if that gives you an insight into why she behaves this way. Kind of seems like her mom maybe has been fighting her battles for her and making problems go away her whole life, and she doesn't understand the concept of consequences, which is interesting and sad. Is it Girl Scout cookie season? Hell yeah. Panikagami with 40 bits says, you know, I saw a video, why aren't more true crime people ACAB, which was great and I recommend, and it educated me how much worse the cops are, but it gave me a thought. I kind of wish we actually did live in a world the world copaganda portrays. Well, it still would be bad. That's a world where cops are held accountable, give a shit about helping people, risk their lives for the greater good, and the media actually criticizes the cops. Yeah, usually the worlds of propaganda are more appealing than the real world to people. That's why it's propaganda. Is she 18? She's over 18.
Ma'am, step out of the car. Give me your driver's license and get out of your car now. Let me see it. Provide it outside of the window now. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
I think she's trying to communicate. Green Guy with a tip says, if I say you were as cute as my cat, that is a compliment, 110%. Well, cats are adorable, so of course.
Get out of the car.
Beep, beep.
Step out of the car now.
1 honk for yes, 2 for no. Oh, someone else made the joke first. Credit to polysaturated lipids. I didn't see that, but you got it first.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car now.
Can you speak in English? Because I don't think you can hear me.
Step out of the car.
No. Do you hear him?
I don't know who you're talking to.
Do you hear this person talking to me?
I work with the sheriff's office. Get out of the car.
He's a criminal and he's assaulting me.
You're being
She's
stopped.
claiming he's assaulting her. He's not.
Get out of the car.
Yet.
Get out of the car.
The officer is assaulting me.
Get out of the car now.
No, he won't. Okay. You want to talk to him?
Open the door.
Mom, he's talking right
Open the door.
See what he's saying?
Open the door and get out.
You're opening the door, you piece of shit.
Get out of the car.
Arrested for
I'm not opening the door, you piece of shit. It's always a good idea to antagonize the cop who's about to arrest you. They love that. They love being told no. They definitely won't be way rougher on you for that. Jesus Christ. You treat cops are like bears, right? Like you don't fuck with them. It's like a wild animal. I'm not saying that what the cops do is right, but you gotta understand how they are, and you can't act like you can just say shit at them like that, and then they're gonna be totally normal about it. A lot of them are angry people, and they get frustrated, and they're going to hurt you, and that's not right, but it is the reality we live in, so probably don't do this if you don't want to be injured.
Driving 100 miles
Ugh, Overthought says, also like bears, don't call them bald.
per hour, 50 miles per hour. Get out of the car.
No.
Get out of the car. You are under arrest. Get out of the car.
M. Scheffler says, bears are bears, you know what I mean. I guess it depends on the size of the officer.
Get out of the car now. Get out.
How fast? She was going 150. So, ridiculously, dangerously fast.
Get out of the
Call my mom and talk to her. She didn't even call a lawyer. She called her mom.
car now.
Miles, not kilometers.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car now. If we have to ask you again, we're gonna break your windows and we're gonna pull you out of the car.
Again, what is the honking?
Get out of the car.
Is she trying to signal for what she thinks is help? Like, what? What is this?
Get out of the car.
I said no.
Get out of the car.
No.
Get out of the car.
No. Yeah, if you
We're
want.
gonna have to rip her out of the car.
Hey, get out of the car.
Hey, I have rights, you stupid shit.
Get out of the car.
No,
I have rights, you stupid shit. Which right is it to not listen to the officer when you're being arrested and to try and seal yourself in your car?
15,
Get out of the
52,
car.
12 now. She's refusing to get out. She's verbal. She hasn't left. We're gonna break her.
Get out of the car.
Fenekagami says, the funny thing, though, is that propaganda is that they pretend that's already the world we live in. Yeah, that's how propaganda works. And it's bad because of how mean it is to the cops. Internal Affairs is treated like scum because they're willing to destroy cop careers, quote, unfairly. The media is portrayed as vultures just waiting to take cops down a peg. Prosecutors treat cops like they're idiots who barely know how to do their jobs right, and that these are activists making cops' jobs so hard by criticizing them constantly. Yeah, 90% of this is Dick Wolf's fault. I blame Dick Wolf and Dragnet, which inspired Law and Order. But whatever. The weed episode of Dragnet is so frustrating and hilarious.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Break the window, Harry, now. Break the window.
This little guy, I was surprised he, like, smashes it as quick as he does, because he's got kind of a small frame, you know? But he does it.
Right.
Yeah, break.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car now.
No.
Get out of the car. Do not touch me.
I think it'd be fun one day to smash a window, like go to a junkyard and see if I can pay him like $10 to smash a car window just to know what it's like.
Harry,
Get away from me.
Get out of the car.
get out of the car, you're getting tased.
Ow.
Get out of the car, you're getting tased. Stop, don't cut her arm, Perry.
I'm a girl.
Do not touch me.
I'm a girl. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Half of the population are immune to crime.
Don't get out of the car, we're gonna tase you.
How am I supposed to move my car?
Sit back.
Don't push me.
Sit back. Let go of her arm for a second.
Yeah, you got a new car. Congratulations.
Get out now.
Take off my seatbelt.
Get out now.
Girls are allowed to speed on the road. It's a well-known law. That's why I transitioned primarily, was so I could get to work faster.
Yeah, this is Blonde.
Get out of the car.
Don't.
Get out of the car.
No, don't do that.
Get out of the car.
Ow.
Out of the car now!
Oh.
There's the assault. I'm not saying it's illegal. They're grabbing her. I don't think anything they're doing is illegal right now. But, you know, I'm sure she's not having a good time.
Mom, they're asking.
I got it, Barry.
Ow.
I told you you're under arrest.
No, you're a criminal. I said you're a criminal. Are they even filming this shit?
You speed to your house. I have a real job too.
Let's get her up out of the road, Bert. Stand up. Stand up.
What are you gonna do? Take off my shoes?
My car.
No, this one. Sit down.
I don't know how to
Sit down. Get in the car.
I'm stupid. I don't know how to sit down.
Get in the car.
She's like an 8-year-old. I'm stupid. I don't know how to sit down. And then like a little look on her face. Christ. Oh. All right then. Fenekakami says the funniest part of Mythbusters was when they got it to destroy cars for fun. That is a good part of it.
Get in the car.
Get in the car. We're done.
Oh, you
Put your feet. Put her feet.
That door shut was so frustrated.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
For your service.
Thanks.
I just thank them for their service? Oh my god. Oh, we're cooked, chat. We're so cooked. Everything is so stupid. Everything is so dumb.
Is that a rotation?
Yeah, she grabbed me by my arm and threw my arm. Sounds like battery. What an absolute idiot.
Are you there, sir? No. No. Fat. Are you there? No. Piggy, piggy, piggy. Are you there? Hey. Are you? No. Fine.
Miss Jenna, can you hear me? Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Hey, so have you ever been arrested before? For what?
For what?
Yeah.
One time I hit my mom.
So battery?
Huh?
Like a battery?
They said it was a misdemeanor, but
Yeah.
basically like assault.
Yeah, battery's like the physical touching of someone else. So yeah. Anything else or no?
I think it was like petty theft at one point.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right. So today, obviously you're placed under arrest.
Okay.
You're being charged with resisting with violence, which is a 3rd-degree felony, and then you're being charged with just the speeding, the 50 miles per hour over. Okay. You got any questions for me?
No, sir.
Thanks, Italian
Okay.
Shakespeare.
Can I ask you a question?
No problem.
Why didn't you want to get out of the car?
Well, because I knew I was going to get arrested.
Okay.
That's a person who can't think more than one step ahead. Well, if I get out, I'm going to get arrested, so I'm just not going to do that. Okay, but have you considered what's going to happen when you don't get? You're still going to get arrested. Now you just have more charges. You made the problem worse. This is avoidance in action, folks. My preferred coping mechanism, and it destroys you. Don't be avoidant. Do things that you need to do.
Okay.
I didn't get into an accident.
No, you didn't get into an accident.
No, sir.
Nope.
No crash or nothing.
How far were you driving that fast?
How far to St. Augustine?
No, like what you were at 100.
Jay's a proxy. Thanks for a 365 stream streak. Says a whole year's worth of streams. I'm kind of glad it was on SovCit day. 6:35 to go.
miles an hour.
Yeah.
How far were you driving at 100 miles an hour?
I don't get the question.
At 100 miles an hour, what's the distance you traveled?
To St. Augustine.
No, you were coming from Gainesville, right?
Exactly.
So on State Road 20.
Huh?
This is State Road 20.
Okay.
So on State
I was
Road
using
20.
the GPS.
Okay. So were you driving 100 miles per hour for a really long time?
I don't really care. They're gonna arrest me anyway. Be going to jail.
I don't really care. What do you what do you think the point of this question was? It'd probably be smart for her to shut up because it would be admitting to the crime and the severity of it. She shouldn't say, but it's like she doesn't even understand the point of the question. M. Scheffler says, good advice. Counterpoint, you're not the boss of me. Hey, do your thing. It's up to you.
So I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
She was charged with resisting an officer with violence and a moving traffic violation for exceeding the speed limit by 50+ miles per hour. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
That was so stupid. That's the dumbest arrest I've seen in a while. Here's a quick court appearance. This one's also Team Skeptic. Team Skeptic's been getting great stuff lately, so if you want to check out more, check out Team Skeptic's channel.
I have Ms. Rael appearing in person today in the courtroom. I'm Mr. Barnett at the District Attorney's Office. We sent this matter over for a pretrial readiness conference. We're set for trial on March 12th at 8 a.m. Ms. Rael, I see that you're still representing yourself in this matter. Is that correct?
I would like to invoke
Oh, she
my
had a license and everything.
right to remain
She
silent.
wasn't a sovereign citizen. I just played that because it was really interesting and it got a window smash. So.
All right, Mr. Barnett, anything from the state we need to take?
Sergeant Sharp, thanks for becoming Stana, a membership on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Sheriff?
By the way, we will be starting up the patron and member only live shows again soon. I'm sorry that they were sparse last month. I've been feeling terrible with the withdrawals from those meds. It's been getting better slowly over time, but I've lost 15 pounds in 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, and I've just been doing really bad. So I'm sorry that I've not been up to date on those, but we'll get back into them very soon, probably next week.
Oh, Your Honor. All right, we're set for jury trial on March 12th. And we'll come back one more time for a pretrial readiness conference. I did issue a case management order in this case.
Doesn't she know it's Shut the F Up Sunday? Apparently not.
On November the 3rd. Ms. Rael, you are required to comply with that case management order. I do want to ask you a couple of questions just to make sure you understand that you do have a right to represent yourself. I understand that you've typically just stated that you wanted to exercise your right to remain silent, but I want to go over this with you. You understand that the allegations that you're facing are up to a Class 1 traffic offense, which is up to 364 days in the county jail. That is the maximum penalty on that charge. How much education do you have, Ms. Rael?
Altered Undying says, I've been overwhelmed myself, so I get it. I look forward to them being back now that I have less going on. Yeah, they'll be fun. We'll watch some movies or something. Public domain stuff. Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up, Rick M? Page 263 definition? Okay.
I would like to invoke my right to remain silent.
All right. Do you understand that there are legal complexities in this case that ultimately that even though you're representing yourself, that you're going to be required?
Let's see. Page 263. Let's go. Carelessness, the fact or condition or instance of a person either not having done what he or she ought to have done, or having done what he or she ought not to have done, heedless inattention, a person's general disposition not to do something that ought to be done. There you go. Harold Elbelman, thanks for 54 months, says 6 kids in this economy. This baby's name is gonna be Gregory House. The old man Yowie is in the house. We did it. Oh, and there's a juggle and a hydrate. Jesus Christ, I'll do both.
Required to.
Did I ever cover the don't talk to the police video? The one where they're like, shut the fuck up? Yeah, if it's that one.
Under the same standards, rules of evidence that the district attorney would be under. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
I
Ms.
would
Rael?
like to
Juggle not balls, but 2 jobs and existential dread. You don't need to do a command for that. I'm doing that all the time.
invoke my right to remain silent.
Ms. Rael, this has nothing to do with your innocence or your guilt. I'm trying to determine whether or not you're capable of even representing yourself. I've been very, very patient with you. You haven't even stated your name. I'm not even quite sure that you are Miss Rael. I called Miss Rael to come up here and you stand up here, and so I'm basing on that an assumption, I guess, that I'm making. but I have to establish certain things to make sure that you understand what you're faced with here. You have a right to
Green guy says, I fucking love burritos. I'm happy for your burrito time.
remain silent of anything that might implicate you in any sort of criminal activity, whether or not you've gone to schools that are making it, it's called an Arguello advisement, that's how we refer it to. It's to make sure that you understand that I know that you're competent to represent yourself. Do you want to represent yourself in this matter?
I am invoking my right to remain silent.
All right, I'm going to
I really gotta explain this better to people in school. Your right to remain silent doesn't mean you literally have a right to, like, not engage with the proceedings. I guess you can do that. You can stand mute, but it's not going to do anything. The proceedings are going to happen regardless. The right to remain silent in your Fifth Amendment is about self-incrimination. You have a right not to be forced to testify against yourself or to give testimony that might incriminate you in any sort of questioning, right? That's your right to remain silent. It doesn't mean you get to just shut up whenever and everything will, like, go away. That's not how this works.
take that as a yes, you understand, obviously you have a right to remain silent, finding that you can represent yourself in this matter. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the jury trial. We'll set this for one more pretrial conference. Mr. Waldo sorry, not Mr. Waldo, sorry, Mr. Barnett.
And I do not understand.
You are doing so.
Oh, she did the don't understand thing.
You have put me in a compromised situation. I do not speak Latin.
Okay,
I do not know
Me either.
the Latin language. Am I in your commercial jurisdiction?
Ms. Real,
Or,
okay,
let me speak.
okay, if you want to speak, yeah, go ahead.
Am I in your commercial jurisdiction? Are you going to give me an interpreter? I still do not understand. I don't know
It's
what's
actually kind of funny because the Latin thing is sovereign citizens believe that legalese, there's a lot of Latin like words that are used as jargon in law, you know? So they say that they're speaking Latin as if it's like a secret other language, and she's asking for an interpreter to understand the Latin legalese, which would be an attorney. You want an attorney? Because that's basically what you're asking for if you're asking for someone to interpret the legalese that you're overstating in the first place. Then you would want an attorney. But she doesn't want that. Because of course she doesn't.
going on. My freedom is at stake. I have the right to counsel. My freedom's at stake. You charge
Right, you absolutely have the right to counsel. Are you going to let them give you a lawyer?
me a fee. You separate common law to my freedom with commercial law, where you impose a fee on me.
All right, so Mr. Al, I'm going to interrupt you. Mr.
Serve
Al,
it both ways.
Mr. Al, I'm going to interrupt you now. So do you,
Which
Ms.
jurisdiction
Real,
am
Ms. Real, if you don't stop, I'll hold you in contempt and I'll put you in custody. Stop. You clearly understand the English language, and I'm speaking to you in English. Do you need an interpreter in another language? Because I'm not speaking in Latin. I'm speaking in the English language. You just stated to me that you have a right to counsel. Would you like an attorney appointed to represent you?
Can I finish speaking?
She sucks so bad.
Can I finish speaking?
What do you need to say, Ms. Real?
Okay, then I am invoking my right to remain silent. If I cannot speak, then I am invoking my right to remain silent.
Then what would you like to say?
I'm trying to say it. You're not allowing me.
Well, he is a little wreck.
So if you have questions or understanding of the court, but I'll give you a couple of minutes to complete whatever it is you wanted to say, but we're not at trial at this point. I'm trying to just determine whether or not you understand what's going on. Would you understand the English language? It's very clear to me that is the case. And I'm not speaking to you in Latin, Ms. Real.
Am I?
Just find her not competent and give her an attorney. They'll probably do a competency evaluation. Sovereign citizens, if they're really insistent on being their own attorneys, often go through some sort of competency thing.
Your commercial jurisdiction, or am I under your common law jurisdiction of the Constitution? You compromise me in every single way when I come into the courtroom. You strip me of my right to bear arms by running me through a metal detector already.
No, she wants to bring a gun to court. That's not reasonable.
Compromising my rights as an American. You force me into a room where you have sentries with body armor, guns, pepper spray, tasers. You sit me down in a chair and then you ask me if I understand. No, I do not understand. You violate me through and through, and then in the middle of the game, we get halfway through the hearing, you change it, and then you
Hydrate.
spark out some word in Latin, and I am sitting here confused as all heck, asking me if I understand. If I don't put up and tolerate with your actions, you will have your officer standing up against the wall, pull out his weapon to scare me and throw me in a dog cage. You are acting criminal, corrupt, and evil and demonic. I do not understand.
Ooh, demonic.
And therefore,
That's a common one these days. Lots of people just think everything is satanic and demonic. I hate it.
or you cannot form jurisdiction over me. You speak a foreign language that is regulated from Britain.
Okay,
In
Mr. Real,
America,
that's
in
enough.
America, you
Ms. Real,
speak English to me.
Mr. Real, that's enough. I've heard enough. Okay, so you obviously understand the English language. Okay, so you are under the jurisdiction of the court. That is the jurisdiction that you under. You are in the Conejos County Court. I am the Conejos County Judge, and I do have jurisdiction over you.
Can I finish?
No, you cannot. I'm not going to continue to listen to this. This is what we're going to do. You are set for trial on March 12th. You will show up here
That's my birthday.
for trial on March 12th. If you don't show up, I will issue a bench warrant for your arrest. We are going to have a trial March 12th. You have the right to counsel. If you would like to apply for counsel, you clearly understand that because you just told me that you have a right to an attorney. There is an application right there on that table. You can fill out that application and you can provide that to the public defender's office. They can enter an appearance for you free of charge if you qualify. That is your right to an attorney. If you don't want to apply, and that's absolutely your choice, you get to elect that. But we are going to trial on March the 12th, and you will be here for trial on March the 12th, and we will put it to a jury, the allegations against you. That is what we're going to do.
Okay, well then, can I get that in writing?
Have it on the record. We'll be here March 12th for a trial.
What time is that?
Start at 8 a.m.
All righty.
You need to
Alrighty.
come back for another pretrial conference, Mr. Barnett. We'll be here for trial March 12th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So
Well, hopefully we'll get a follow-up on that. So, we'll see. Let's try this one. This particular sovereign citizen has been pulled over and I think arrested multiple times already for this kind of thing.
Let me have your driver license and your registration. Huh?
Don't have driver license, don't have registration.
You don't have driver license, you don't have registration, so what are you doing?
Jurisdiction, I don't drive. I travel. Council jurisdiction, man.
Okay, do me a favor, get out of the vehicle.
No.
Turn off the car and get out of the vehicle. Turn off the car and get out of the vehicle.
You really gonna violate me right here?
Yes. Turn off the car and get out of the vehicle, sir. This is the last time that I'm gonna ask you for it.
I gave you my national identification card, man.
Get out of the vehicle, sir.
You're really violating the national.
You need a Florida driver license, not this.
I don't drive, sir.
Okay.
I'm not in your jurisdiction.
Get
sir.
out of the vehicle.
Can you call your supervisor?
My jurisdiction is Broward
Can
County.
you call your supervisor?
Get
for me,
out of
please?
the vehicle.
Can you call your
Sir,
supervisor?
you need to make this a lot easier on yourself by just exiting the vehicle. please.
Listen, can you call
Just
your
get out of the
supervisor?
vehicle.
We've asked you more than once now. We've asked you a few times.
Can you call your supervisor?
Get out of the vehicle, sir.
He's been arrested for this before. I do not understand why he thinks that a supervisor is going to change the situation.
You need a driver license to drive in the state of Florida.
A driver's license. I don't
Sir.
need registration. I don't need none of that. I'm not in your
Sir,
jurisdiction.
get out of the vehicle.
Counselor jurisdiction. That's the law. It's on my window. You
Get
see my
out of
flag?
the vehicle.
You see my flag?
Get out of the vehicle, sir.
Call your.
Oh, he's got a flag. It's probably a Moorish citizen thing. They usually put a flag, like a Moorish citizen flag on their car, and they think that designates their vehicle as, like, protected.
Call your. Call your supervisor.
Okay, this is the last warning for you to get out of the vehicle,
Can
okay?
you call your supervisor for me?
Adventuresin.net with the 20-stream streak says it's like they think they're in an escape room, and if they just use the right words and secret procedures, they'll be able to escape the predicament that they put themselves in.
Sir, if you don't
You
get
want
out...
to hear something depressing? I read the other day about someone who works at an escape room, and people in one of their escape rooms were trying to use ChatGPT to solve the puzzles. I don't even know why they let phones in. In my experience, I don't think they usually let you take phones into an escape room. But apparently some people were using ChatGPT. I don't even get why, why even go? Why even go to the escape room if you're just gonna have your phone? I don't understand people. I've never understood people, but the gulf between me and understanding other people has only grown larger over the years. And it's really depressing, and I feel so isolated.
Out of the car, we're going to take you out of the car. Understand that. We're asking you to go ahead and just step to the back.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. You choose.
So you're gonna violate?
Nobody's violating your rights. We're asking
You are
you to come out of
violating
the
my
car.
rights by telling me to get out of my vehicle. You
Okay, so I'm violating your right. Get out of the vehicle.
You can't violate the law, bro.
Get out of the vehicle, sir.
Call your supervisor.
I don't gonna call my supervisor. Get out of the vehicle.
Call your supervisor.
When you get out of the car and you step back here, we'll call our supervisor.
No,
We want to talk to you out of the car.
here right now. I need your supervisor here right now. Right now. I am not exiting my conveyance.
Yes, you are exiting your vehicle.
He almost fucked up and called it a vehicle.
No, I'm not. Call your supervisor for me.
Sir, this is a...
How confusing life would be if that's how it worked. You just had to use the right words, and if you didn't, you get arrested.
last time that I'm gonna ask you.
Call your supervisor.
4 Alpha 7.
Gitara says, imagine paying to go to an escape room and not even actually trying to solve the thing. That's the whole point! People really are willing to just surrender their mental faculties and the joy of actually doing things because using a clanker to do it for them is trendy. People are lazy, and they're just feeding into propaganda machines. All these chatbots are the perfect avenue for mass personalized propaganda tailored to individual people for any given purpose, and no one else is like worried about that, and I feel like a crazy person.
Call your supervisor. Because you're violating the national. You had no reason to pull me over at all.
94 to my 1020,
What was your probable cause to pull me over? You had no reason.
You don't have a driver license.
Listen, you had no reason to pull me over. It's because of the report that I did earlier today about my accident. Yeah. So you...
Dillis Filler says, I love how dumbstruck he was when the officer took the I don't care route.
There's no probable cause of you...
Okay. I'm gonna call my supervisor when you get out of the vehicle.
I'm not a fiction. And I'm not under the color of law. I'm not under the color of law. I'm a national.
No window smash.
Don't move. 4F2, you can 10 8 We're gonna have one minute. Okay.
Get up.
The color house 56 South Music 506
Is there anybody else in that car?
No.
12 hours, 7 every time, have more. 2314.
Take the badge off his neck.
Oh, he's got a badge! Why does he have a badge around his neck? Oh no! He might get impersonating an officer! He had a badge around his neck, like a police badge! Why?
Move your foot.
Yeah. Hey.
Sovereign citizen.
Oh no! What is that? Oh!
The seal of what? Great Seal of Consulates.
Oh, it's like a Moorish. He has like a Moorish citizen badge. The Great Seal of the Consulate. It's a Moorish citizen thing. It's basically a special little Moorish citizen badge. Don't think it says anything. Alright. Don't think we need to see the booking. Oh boy. Goth Geek Gaming with 40 bits says, you'd said something about how you feel more separated from people. I know you've said you're in your 30s. Imagine being early 40s or older and feeling the same. I understand in the 80s when I was born, in the 90s to early 2000s when I went through formative years, I can understand information was harder to obtain, but now in the year of Barometer 2026, I don't get why there are still dumb people. I don't know. Everything's bad. Alright, let's see what's next. If you missed the last Sovereign Citizen watch, I found a new interesting person. This man is not a sheriff, to be clear, despite his outfit might lead you to believe... Oh, you meant Baphomet. That makes sense. He's not a sheriff, but he's pretending to be, basically. He has his own little group of sovereign citizens, and they elected him sheriff, and he thinks he's the rightful sheriff now. So he bought a costume to go with it. So that's fun.
Hey guys, welcome back to Restore the Republic. I'm going to get into a little bit of something today. Yeah, it's been a couple of crazy days for all of us, hasn't it? Well, anyways, today we're going to talk about civil rights. Those protections that you're told that are sacred, and comparing them to natural rights, you know, the unalienable rights, the ones you were born with.
Inalienable. I'm begging people to have paid attention elementary school. Inalienable. As in they cannot be alienated from you. It is not inalienable. Holy shit.
But here's the twist.
It's like when people, the guy in the, like, when they say colorable law, color of law, it's not colorable law. These people don't even understand what the words are, much less what they mean.
What if civil rights aren't rights at all, but privileges granted to you by these foreign corporations, these governments? And what if accepting them means that you are giving up your sovereignty?
Hold It Undying says, I think one of the big problems is everyone has their own way of communicating and grasping information. This didn't used to matter because you and your community normally have the same understanding, but now everything is slogged together. It's like AI slop, incorrect things feeding into one another.
That's the question, you know, that's the things we need to answer. Well, anyways, let's get into it. Natural rights, you know.
Why is the flag inverted? This is a sovereign citizen thing. One of the pieces of mythology they have is that they think that this is the peacetime civil American flag. It's not. It's basically an adjusted version of the customs flag that I think it used to exist. I don't know if there still is a customs flag like this, because I think in like 2003, customs was absorbed into the Department of Homeland Security, I think. Whenever the Department of Homeland Security was created. But anyway, there used to be a flag specifically for customs, and I'll show you what that looked like. U.S. Customs flag. And it looked like this. It was also mentioned in the Scarlet Letter, the famous novel, where it was described as the, like, civil flag or something, but they were referring to this. It's a customs flag. And it's become a piece of sovereign citizen mythology that secretly the flag we usually use is the wartime flag, and the military is secretly in control of everything. So they think they're using the proper flag, but it's just like a made-up thing. I guess all flags are made up, but you know what I mean. This is not officially recognized by the United States government in any way. It's not an official U.S. flag. It never has been.
Natural rights are your birthright of every man and woman. They're not written into law. They're woven into existence. You know, you have them. You don't need a government to give them to you. You don't
But we're always at war, so why would we need a peacetime one?
need a license to use them. They're yours by virtue of being alive. We have them, you know, these certain rights. Here's a few of them, you know, the right to speak freely, which allows us podcasters to do our thing. If it allows anybody to talk.
I say this, the internet should have remained text. I think the fact that we can stream and do podcasts and every asshole, including me, has a microphone has been such a detriment to human society. I'm sorry for being a part of all of this. I'm so complicit.
Talk about their governments or friends or anybody they don't like or do like. And, you know, what's going on right now is, you know, a little crazy, but, you know, you have the right to speak freely. You have the right to own property. You have the right to travel. You have the right to defend yourself. You certainly have the right to govern yourself. That's what people aren't comprehending here. You know, once you get out of that foreign jurisdiction as a U.S. citizen, this country was made and founded upon self-governing. And that's what we got to do. These rights are referenced in the Unanimous Declaration of Independence, 1776. You know, this is what our forefathers said, hey, this is it. We're declaring independence, you know. And, you know, we've talked about.
They were declaring independence from England, not government overall. They went on to form the federal government. First, they tried through the Articles of Confederation, which were shit, and they threw out. And then later in 1789, they finally created the Constitution. They created a government. There was not an intent to never have a government. Not only did they create a federal government, but obviously all the state governments already existed with their own rules and regulations, which the Constitution respects and says they have a right to regulate things within their own jurisdictions.
About this before.
Sovereign citizens have this fantasy that all the founding fathers were like, okay, everyone can do whatever they want. That was not the intent. They were trying to separate from England. They were not trying to separate from the concept of any government whatsoever.
For most of them guys, when they were done with it, just signing that declaration, they knew that they could be in a lot of trouble. You know, they even said at the end, you know, they're using their sacred honor, their fortunes, and their lives to sign it, which they did. It's a great thing, you know.
The Italian Shakespeare.
You know, these are unalienable rights, meaning
inalienable.
They can't be taken away or surrendered at all.
Have they seen the word written down ever?
Have them, and that's just the way it is. God gave them to you. They're grounded in.
Wow, crazy that even though God gave them to you, they weren't enshrined and made sure that you have them until government officials made it official by making it a document and then having the power to enforce it.
Natural law.
Not a big fan of the God-given rights thing. It's just like objectively not true, demonstrably. Look everywhere around the world where people's rights, including in America, where their rights are being violated. The fact that rights can be violated kind of means they are alienable, right? I get that we say they're inalienable because you should have them, and that's us kind of like collectively as a society enforcing that as an ideology, and I think that's good. But, like, realistically, obviously your rights can be alienated from you. Obviously governments and people with power can take away your rights. It's very crazy to me that people act as though, no, I always have them. God gave them to me. All right, well, he's not enforcing them. So how do you think you're getting them? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Generty with the 25 stream streak says, I have a recommendation of an awesome show, Human, to follow. The show is Patience, a drama with some of the best autism rep I've ever seen. The main character is in it. Ella Maisie Purvis is an autistic lefty pro-trans feminist who loves cats so much that her Insta has a photo of her walking her cat in a park. Also, she's kind of cute, but that's not important. I'll check it out sometime.
All not statutory law. And they're tied to the land and soil jurisdiction. So, we know a lot of you out there. Well, a lot of people that watch our state nationals.
Rick M says, wouldn't it be funny if someone were to send a tip to the real sheriff that this guy was LARPing? I don't know if he's not, as far as I know, he's not going outside like this. So right now he's effectively wearing a costume on the internet, which you are allowed to do. So I don't think he's doing anything illegal right now. He's just crazy.
So that's great. You guys know what
if he goes out in this outfit and pretends to be the real sheriff and tries to enforce laws or to stop people under the pretense that he's the sheriff, that would be very illegal.
Talking about, but we have to get out. It's our duty to get this out to the masses, to these U.S. citizens that are lost, they just can't find their way. They know something's wrong. I've been saying this over and over and over in a lot of my videos. But it's up to us to give them the information. It's up to us to help them out. It's up to us to guide them. It's our duty. We have to let other Americans know that there's a way out of that madness.
Rick M says, wait, you aren't a real lanternfish? No, notice how I don't have water surrounding me and I don't have gills collecting oxygen through the water? No, I am a human being, unfortunately.
And it's, the idea that the people, not the government, are the sovereign authority in this country, in our states, in our counties. We are the authority.
You exercise that authority through elections. It doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want and you don't have to listen to the government. That's not how anything works.
Not them. Well, what are civil rights? These are the rights that you hear about in school, in the media, in courtrooms. They sound empowering. You always hear people, I have civil rights. I have civil rights.
Oh, mocking civil rights. That's a good look for him.
Like the government's protecting them. But here's the
government does protect often at least historically. Well, not historically. In ideal instances, yes, the government should be protecting like minority groups or people being like treated badly. They should be protecting them because otherwise those people are in a disadvantaged state and can't protect themselves from a majority who hates them. So yes, the government is in the business of protecting people's rights, ideally.
Civil rights are granted by the government.
All rights are granted by people around you, whether it's your local community up to your government. You are part of a society, and the rules of that society are dictated by the people within that society. The rights that are enshrined in the American Constitution are not some divinely granted thing that exists in the ether and exists sans human conception. A group of people came together, decided these are the rights that we want enshrined, and these are what are going to be protected through force via the government. That's what it is. Like, if you need to conceptualize it another way, I guess whatever, but that is the facts. That is literally what has happened.
They are granted to you by the government. That means they can also be taken away.
Correct. They can, which is why it's important to make the government not turn really fucked up and fascist, but look how we're doing at that.
Government. Now that's a wild concept, but this is what these U.S. citizens need to comprehend. Your civil rights are granted to you. And that, you know what, well, you see it every day. They're taken away, they're restricted, they're changed, what a mess. Civil rights are part of a legal framework just applied to U.S. citizens. A status that ties you to a corporate entity registered in Washington, D.C. And if you follow this channel or you're a state national, there are two foreign corporations in Washington, D.C., the U.S. Inc. and the USA Inc. And if you're a state national, I don't have to tell you who charters these corporations. You know, most of the citizens out here have no idea about this. But it's true, people. This is the stuff you can look up. This is the stuff you can get on Dun and Bradstreets and type in the name, and you'll see the business model. You'll see who's chartering them.
That Dunning Bradstreet place, they have this thing where they have numbers that are used. I don't know if they're used for tax information or something. I don't remember exactly. But sovereign citizens will see governments on there, and they assume that they're businesses because they think that website only assigns numbers to businesses, which is not the case. They also do so for governments, like federal, state, and local, as well as nonprofit organizations. So they look at Dunning Bradstreet and go, oh, it's on here, so it must be a corporation. It's not. There are United States federal corporations, which are corporations that are owned by the federal government. The FDIC is one, for instance, I believe. But there's a lot of them. USA Inc. may be one, but that is not the United States government. That would be a corporation owned by the federal government. These people get that confused and assume that the federal corporation is the government and therefore it is private and for profit, which it's not.
For your information, it's the Crown of England and the Vatican. Two foreign corporations causing all this mess. Well, it ties you. The United States, the United States that you pledge allegiance to may not be the land and the people. It's the corporation you're pledging allegiance to.
I haven't said the Pledge of Allegiance since elementary school. Is this a thing he thinks people do on a regular basis?
So I know we went over I've spoken about the Pledge of Allegiance before, but you know what? The more investigating, the more digging I do, that's their jurisdiction. It's just one big farce altogether. So some examples of civil rights are the right to vote in federal elections. Now most people should know this. They should know that these federal elections, the people running for these positions have already been elected. Now, the citizens are just voting to pick on one of the people that have been elected,
Are you familiar with primaries?
It's two different.
They are selected before to run in their party's primaries, or they're running independently, which doesn't require a primary.
Corporations throwing their candidate in there, and the people take the bait. Take the bait. Another example of civil rights, the right to equal treatment under statutory law. Well, we all know that statutory law is just corporate bylaws.
Incorrect. They're laws passed by the legislature
that corporations and their employees have to follow. We've mentioned this before. It's their law. It's their laws inside the corporation. Anna says this a lot about the McDonald's or the Wendy's. If you're standing out on the street and somebody comes up running to you saying, hey, where's your uniform? Why aren't you wearing your Wendy's uniform? Well, you don't work for that corporation. You don't need a uniform.
Okay, but the United States isn't a private for-profit corporation, and its citizens are not its employees. You can turn anything into anything if you just make shit up. That analogy doesn't make sense, because the United States government is not a Wendy's.
So anyway, I just came out at Wendy's, and there was 8 homosexuals there having lunch.
That's actually how we know the United States is not a Wendy's. There's way more than 8 homosexuals.
It all ties in. That example is really cool. She talks about it a lot. Another one's the right to access public services. So, going into your administrative buildings, trying to get paperwork or anything that you need, you have a right to do that with your civil rights. But once again, the civil rights can be taken away at any time. That's why you'll see people on videos all the time going in, filming, getting denied, getting kicked out, what a mess. But here's the problem. Those rights are conditional. They're subject to change.
All rights are conditional. That is a fact of material reality.
They're regulated and they're often controlled behavior rather than freedom, rather than a protected freedom,
I don't imagine if this guy was in North Korea.
Yeah, so
I'm just how does he think law works? Power. The application of law and the protection of rights is an exercise of power. It's not philosophical, at least it's not strictly philosophical. It is an exercise of power and force. And he's acting like it's just magical thoughts that exist in the universe, and it's just whatever.
Here's the citizen trap. I've talked about the citizenship. A lot of people know about it. We need to get the word out. We got to get these people to change their political statuses, man, back to American. But the citizen trap.
Dillis Filler with 40 bits says the Data Universal Numbering System, abbreviated as DUNS, is a proprietary system by Dun & Bradstreet that assigns a unique DUNS number to a single business entity. It was introduced in 1963 to support D&B's credit reporting practice. It is standard worldwide. DUNS users include the European Commission, the United Nations, Google, and Apple. More than 50 global industry and trade associations recognize, recommend, or require DUNS.
Most Americans unknowingly contract into corporate system just by identifying as a U.S. citizen. As soon as you identify as a U.S. citizen, they got you.
It's not about identifying. You have birthright citizenship, so if you're born in the United States or naturalized in the United States, you're a citizen. Doesn't matter what you call yourself.
Got you in their jurisdiction, and that's where you're going to stay. That status places them under the federal jurisdiction, basically. And it's subject to administrative law and not constitutional law. We got a lot of people out on videos always talking about constitutional law. We got people in our assemblies talking about constitutional law. We got people talking to sheriffs that are working for the incorporated.
He just used air quote sheriffs to talk about real sheriffs when he's the fake sheriff. God damn it.
Or municipality of their cities or their towns. And these guys are, they talk about, hey, I'm a constitutional sheriff. Well, you cannot be a constitutional sheriff if you're a U.S. citizen. Anna's wrote articles about this. You cannot sit there, pick and choose when you want to be constitutional or not. While at the same time, you are forcing regulations and codes on people, taking them for their money. You cannot serve two masters. So you're either a U.S. citizen or you're an American. And if you're an American,
those are not mutually exclusive.
That's where you get your rights, your unalienable rights.
Inalienable.
Well, civil rights used as a control mechanism, Civil rights sound good on paper, but the function is to control,
Can't imagine why this straight white man hates civil rights so much.
Control.
I'm sure there's nothing to dig into there.
Control you, control everybody. Take voting, for example. It's framed as your voice in a democracy. That's what one of those foreign corporations is. I think it's the U.S. Inc. They are a democracy. It's a corporation. It's acting as a government, but in the corporate system, voting is just a way to legitimize the
corporations are not generally democratic. What are you talking about? You think all the employees of a company get to vote on the policies of that company? Private corporations are not democratic. What are you talking about?
The illusion that you have a choice. You really don't have no choice at all. They've picked the people. You're just voting on one of them. It's the same thing. You're choosing between two corporate entities, basically. And they're both operating under the same jurisdiction. That's the jurisdiction that we, the living people, the Americans, are not in. We are not in the sea jurisdiction. We're on the land and soil. That's where the Americans are at. And that's why I've fought so hard to get the message out about people getting remedy in these C jurisdiction courts. It's not going to happen. You know, I mean, once in a while you might see some people get off a ticket or something, and that's great. But 9 out of 10 times you are not getting remedy in these C jurisdiction courts. Why do you think these judges or these prosecutors have like a 98% conviction rate? Not to mention it ties into the CRIS system.
Lots of plea deals would be my guess.
The retirement system.
Probably dropping cases they don't think are worth prosecuting.
These people are making money.
I don't know what localities have that conviction rate. The feds do.
Hand over fist in these damn corporate, you know, these C jurisdiction courts. And we do not belong there, people. So this all...
Do I think these types will ever realize how goofy they sound? No, this is a huge part of his identity now. This is how he sees himself. It's impossible. I'll put it this way. It's virtually impossible for him to separate himself from this ideology because it's become central to who he is. He's not just a guy that believes some of this stuff. He believes he is a sheriff enacting true law. Like, this is a belief system that would require, like, cult deprogramming, basically. And I don't think he's going to volunteer for that. One who reads with a 10-stream streak says, I'm lurking for now, gotta maintain this fat streak. Sub to Hannah, gift subs to comrades. Thanks, one who reads.
Ties into the assemblies, your political status changed to American because we are bringing back our government onto our counties, onto our state, you know, and we're setting up our courts, the people's courts.
Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. What's the people's court sound like? Fuck!
That's where we get our remedy. That's what we're shooting for. So, another example for the civil rights acting as a controlling mechanism is basically in their jurisdiction, the right to protest. You know, now you see that we have the right to, you know, address our grievances and stuff, but protesting, that really isn't for Americans.
Yeah, the formation of America didn't involve any protests. I don't think he's aware of American history very much. I don't think he understands American history, guys.
What do we have to protest? Nothing. You self-govern. If you want...
Says the white guy. What do we have to protest about? You're a straight white man. No one has ever done anything to you that would require the protection of the state in the way you're describing. Of course you think it's fine. You've never had to fight for a single right in your entire life, you fucking piece of shit.
Want to do something? Do it. If you're not hurting anybody or their property, it's go time. But anyways,
it's go time.
Their jurisdiction, they protest.
He had that locked in.
You know, and it's protected until it's not. You know, they you know, these citizens bitch and complain about it. You know, what if there's a state of emergency? Well, your protesting went out the window. Executive orders, federal mandates. That suspends civil rights at any time. That's not freedom. It's permission, just like we was talking about. Civil rights, still good. It's for the slaves. We all know it.
How can he say that knowing that the civil rights movement changed the lives of every Black American fundamentally? Like, is he ignorant, or is he just this malicious where he doesn't consider, like, non-white people? I can't tell.
Now, why it matters, it's just the legal theory. You know, it's about life, your ability to own land, to raise your children, to speak your truth, and to live without interference. You know, self-governing. You shouldn't be interfered by anyone. If you're not doing anything wrong, leave us alone. It's just the way it is. Natural rights are permanent. Civil rights are temporary.
Oh, you
Natural
just
right?
call them something. Like, this is the thinking of a child. Like, he understands the issues with the issue with civil rights and that you have to, like, fight for them, right? It is unfortunate that we often have to fight for our rights, to fight for our very existence. It's a terrible thing. And he's acting as though, well, just don't do that. Just say you have magical rights. And it's like, without enforcement of those rights, you do not have those rights. Rights without enforcement is magical thinking. It's insanity.
Rights are universal. Civil rights are selective. Natural rights empower. Civil rights regulate. That's what's going on here.
Look at his smug little fucking smile, too. He thinks he's so smart. He's such a dumb asshole.
So
frankly, calling him a dumb asshole is like a best case scenario. Worst case, he's a malicious actor who knows exactly what he's doing and saying. Best case, he's a dumb shit. M. Scheffler says, I had to fight for our rights to party.
In America, a true Republican form of government that we were guaranteed, it's right in the Constitution, and it's another thing that blows my mind away. When people talk about democracy, all you have to do is look at the Constitution. It takes 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and you read right in there. We're guaranteed a Republican form of government.
Yes, a republic and a democracy are not mutually exclusive. We are a republic with democracy. These people are so stupid.
Now, the constitutions are not for us. It's for them. That's the contract we gave them. They have to protect that. They have to guarantee that. We just go on the way it is. This contract is for them, all three of them. Natural rights should be the foundation of the whole show, you know. But if we're living under a corporate democracy, then civil rights are
it's not corporate.
The currency of the day. And sovereignty is the cost of it. So you got a choice, and that's why I'm speaking out to
gay people have a right to marry each other, and I think that diminishes me in some way. Fuck you, dude. No one's stopping you from doing anything. You're a random white guy. No one is stopping you from doing anything.
You know, hopefully a lot of state nationals on here, but I need you guys to get it out to these U.S. citizens. We need to get the word out, you know, because they're having everybody's having a rough go about it. But I mean, you know, look what's going on. These people are just back and forth fighting. Martin Luther King Jr. quoted St. Augustine.
Oh, fuck you. Dude, you just took a shit on civil rights for almost 20 minutes, and you're gonna quote Martin Luther King Jr.? Eat my entire disgusting asshole, you fucking freak.
It said any unjust law is no law at all. We know that. It sounds good. It's his quote.
Altered Undying says, but Hannah, if queer folks are happy in marriages, their wives might also want happy marriages.
So, are you living by law or are you living by contract? Are you an American or are you a U.S. citizen?
What kind of American are you? Civil War? No? Okay.
And if you're a U.S. citizen and you want your unalienable rights and you want freedom, you need to change your political status back to American. It's just the way it is. Well, you know what? If you haven't figured it out, I was trying to bring the civil rights and natural rights kind of into order to give you a lowdown on them. A lot of people know about it. We need to get the word out, but it was a way to kind of roll this other part in today. And you know what? I wanted to wait some time for things to cool down. And it's the way the world's going right now, it just seems like everything is one after another. It's so fast. And I sat back and I was like thinking, hey, I'm going to tell these people I'm trying to let things cool down before I say anything. But it seems like a week ago, some of this stuff happened, and it was just the other day. It was just yesterday. It was just the day before. So it's kind of odd, and I'm not trying to stir up anything. It's just stuff that needs to be said, because I would imagine by now most everyone knows about the Charlie Kirk situation.
I'm sorry, I didn't know he talks about this.
And a lot of people all know about 9/11. So it's been a
Oh,
really
is he a 9/11 conspiracy theorist? Ooh.
crazy week, and I guess by bringing that up, I just wanted to talk about how we have, a lot of YouTubers on the right are very mad. They want to do the right thing. They want to keep it peaceful, but they're tired of being taken advantage of. If you watch some of the YouTubers that are
Who's taking advantage of right-wing YouTubers?
Or, have their way about them with military shirts and a little more militaristic, they're out. I don't know. It seems like they're out for blood. And so you got that. And then you got the left, you got people on the left laughing about this situation.
I would never laugh about it. It's very serious.
Makes the right irate,
I care as deeply for Charlie Kirk as his own wife does, I'll have you know.
Mad. So it's back and forth. It's back and forth, and one thing happens here, one thing happens there, and they're in this washing machine, and they're just getting tumbled around, and you can't. I don't know about blaming them, but I mean it's because we're involved too. As Americans, we're involved too. This affects all of us, but these U.S. citizens need to wake up that they're being played. Divide and conquer, or whatever you want to call it, they are being played. They're in a washing machine getting tumbled around. And the owners of the washing machine are these two foreign corporations in DC. That's just the way it is. And whether you believe it or not. So I was watching a video earlier today, and I seen the governor of Utah. I think his name was Governor Cox.
He seen it. Dillis Filler says, I can tell you right now, if those LARPer tactical shitlords actually got into a fight with leftists, the leftists would be calling an ambulance for the LARPers.
He was basically talking about this too, saying, how political violence is just starting to go back and forth, and it's getting worse and worse, and we've seen the stuff that happened on the bus that other day, and then Charlie and the remembrance of 9/11, and it's just going back and forth. But he said, this is what he said. He said, at some point, we have to find an off-ramp. And he was speaking to the left and right.
Oh, he's from Ohio. He's Ohio.
And so I just want...
He's right below me.
...to tell that governor and you guys, and hopefully you tell everybody else, we are that off-ramp. We have no sides in the American government. There is no left or right. There are no political parties.
It must be easy to say that when no one's trying to take away your rights or to make it so you're not allowed to exist in public without being considered a pervert. Must be real easy when you don't have any of these problems, I'd imagine. Jitara says, that's funny considering it's righties like him that constantly divide people, be it white from brown, hetero from everything else, Charlie from his soul, right-wingers just divide stuff.
It's just us.
Silly Jitara, Charlie didn't have a soul.
Self-governing. It's discerning that people are dying over this stuff, dying over speech and dying over that, this and that. But these guys got to wake up because, they need to get out of that system that, if you really want some peace, that flag right behind me is what we represent.
Erica swallowed his soul a long time ago. Sucked it out of him so hard, that's actually what shrunk his face.
You know, peace has been declared on this whole country, on every state of the union, and that's what we're rolling with. You know, it's time to self-govern. It's time to try to help these U.S. citizens out. We have got to get to them. We have got to talk to them. Stuff's just getting crazier and crazier by the day. You know, and I'm trying to do as much as I can. Everybody else, you know, should too. It's just we need to, it's up to us. It's our duty to get this country back in line. It's our duty to make people see the peace, make people see where we can go with this. Make people see once we get our government fully up and running on every state of the union, on every county and every state.
Again, it's the same plan as Marcel. It's like the person who says, we just need to capture 1% of the market. Like, you're not going to get a fake government set up in every county in the country. That's psychotic.
I think everybody will be way better off.
It's like when Marcel said he was going to go into every neighborhood and get 50% of the people at least to agree with him, and then he'll make his own government.
It's happening. You know, we're moving forward. We need everybody's help, all hands on deck. You know, but hopefully we don't have too many more days like we had the other day, you know. It's really sad. So, you know, if you get the chance, maybe say a prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family.
Don't worry, the merch sales were great.
And for that Ukrainian girl that got killed on that bus. Well, that was my rant for today. I hope you guys...
He was a corrections officer in '99, according to his LinkedIn. This guy? It doesn't surprise me. I can see that.
Take it in stride. I do want to let everybody know that, you know, still check out the pktfnews.org site. A lot of information on there, a lot of good stuff, and claimyourinheritance.info. You know, they got all kinds of paperwork on there, all kinds of really good stuff, a lot of information, educational stuff. And that's about it. Also, Restore Republic does have a Cash App donations. If anybody wants to donate, it'd be great. It'd be helpful. You don't have to. We're just asking. So it's $symbol APC 140. If you happen to want to donate, if not, it's all right. So everybody have a good day and get the word out. We need you. We need you all.
He goes out with like a rock.
America, baby.
America!
We're back. Have a good day.
Great. Thanks, sir. I wonder if he has any links to those websites in his thing. No, dang it. I'm gonna have to look up those websites at some point because there's probably some good material on there. Oh, he has shorts.
Well, I just got outside from my meeting with the commercial sheriff here in Richland County, Ohio.
Oh, he's wearing the hat, but I don't think he's wearing the sheriff's badge.
Steve Sheldon. It went very well. We let him know that the American government is here in Ohio.
Oh my God, they went to the sheriff and told them they're the real sheriffs? All right, then.
Standing, seated.
I really wonder, like, with sovereign citizens, they do often end up, like, making meetings and stuff with the chief of police to, like, give them paperwork, bullshit paperwork, saying that they're, like, immune from the laws or whatever. How often do you think that happens? Like, genuinely, like, in a month, how many crazy sovereign citizens does a chief of police of an average-sized city get in his office?
and we gave him the directives on what we expect.
You gave the sheriff directives. I'm sure he appreciated that.
Out of his officers, or his deputies, I mean. And he received them well. So,
how long till he meets a deputy bearing cuffs for him? Hopefully soon.
Good things are happening in Ohio.
Well, I know that's a lie. Nothing good has ever happened in Ohio. Well, Cedar Point's okay. You get one. You get one for Cedar Point. Everything else, no.
We're moving along peacefully and lawfully. And here shortly, we will be having some more meetings with him and the local law enforcement agencies around here in Richland County to fill them in on what's expected out of them, out of the land and soil jurisdiction. So, yeah, I guess I'll report back with you at that time.
All right, we don't have to watch his other shorts. That's fine. There's him and one of his friends who also is doing... I hope that camera's just not doing a very good job, because this guy looks like he has a Hitler mustache. There's no way that guy on the right has a Hitler mustache, right? Let's see if he gets closer to the camera at any point. We're not going to watch this video right now. Oh, the camera makes it look so bad. There's no way it's that bad, really, right? Oh, it looks so... Oh, it's so Hitler. The only person who's ever gotten away with a Hitler mustache in the last 80 years was Michael Jordan for some reason, okay? You can't do a Hitler mustache. Okay, let's see what else we have. Ooh, Lenka. We haven't heard from Lenka in a while.
Hello, my beautiful friends, beautiful people out there, beautiful family. Wishing you all happy holidays. Hopefully everyone is enjoying this beautiful journey we are on. We are literally walking each other back home, if you really think about it. Everything is spiritual. Everything is energy. All there is. We have a lot of
Richland County is the whitest county in Ohio. Coincidence? Ooh, that's concerning.
illusions going on.
What about Charlie Chaplin? I said 80 years. 80 years would be... I guess Charlie Chaplin would have been alive still then.
And so
I should have said a later date.
We continue on the journey down the rabbit hole. It gets pretty fascinating. The higher you rise, the more fascinating things really become. When you really start thinking about them, you have to really laugh. Family, if you are not laughing, especially at yourself, I laugh at myself all the time. Because if you cannot laugh at yourself, you are taking life too seriously. So we continue on this journey down the rabbit hole, the identification trap. If you haven't watched my previous little chats, make sure you do. They are posted on YouTube, and I know that I attract a lot of haters, and I love you all.
It's me. I'm the hater.
Sending much love and healing energy to you. You cannot do my sparkle, okay? So good luck to that. I know that some of this stuff might sound totally crazy. Yes, it totally is crazy because we are living in crazy world.
I turned her up a little. Let me know if I need to turn it up more.
In crazy world. So in this, on this chat, I'd like to share with you something very interesting. First of all, just a quick recap from the previous versions, shall we say. Remember, it's all about knowing who you are. Self-determination is your right. Ninth Amendment. All right? It's under Ninth Amendment. Remember, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. That's it. And you have the right.
Again, sovereign citizens talk about this all the time, and constitutional law, and they ignore statutory law, as if the Constitution doesn't specifically set up not only the federal legislature that can make laws, but allows for the states to have their own legislatures, to have the purview over their own states. The Constitution is not the only law of the land. It also sets up for other laws. It's a foundational document that spells out people's rights and the structure of the federal government. It doesn't mean that the only laws that exist are found in the Constitution literally, but for whatever reason, sovereign citizens seem to interpret it that way.
To South.
Dillis Filler says, walking around with an only gay sheriffs acknowledge my existence sticker on my butt.
Determine yourself. I will never forget, it was on this one case at a court, and this public defender, who was trying to push himself on one of our people. He was arguing with me. You must be U.S. citizen. Lenka, you must be U.S. citizen if you want to live in this country. I'm like, well, you be U.S. citizen. Be my guest. I am woman. I'm one of the people.
Now I'm concerned for what her actual status is. I don't like Lenka, but I don't want anyone to get deported. Like, a lot of sovereign citizens say they're not U.S. citizens, even though they are. But I know Lenka is originally from another country, so now I'm concerned. Did she just overstay on a visa or something and never become naturalized because she wanted to, like, not be a citizen because of all this sovereign citizen bullshit? Like, that's concerning. Oh, God.
And unless you have evidence to the contrary, it is what it is. And I reserve that right to self-determination. So anyway, what happened...
Glad she hasn't been kidnapped by the American Gestapo. Well, she's white, so she's not going to get profiled.
The other day was that one of our people was out in his private conveyance, and his private conveyance got locked up. And because it was a little party going on, and they locked the gates, and he couldn't get to his automobile. So he ended up walking on the street. Imagine you just walk on the street, and because it was late in the evening, and it was dark, and I guess it's so unusual in these days to be just walking on the side of the road. Someone called the cops, and I want to mind you that this young man, is not colored.
Is she German? I don't know. Oh, God, what? Why are you... Oh.
He is Caucasian, white.
Would it have been fine if he wasn't white in her... Like, why would she say that?
American. And he was just walking. But I guess it looked suspicious. It looked very suspicious to some of the residents, U.S. citizens.
Yeah, Americans are paranoid freaks.
Possibly.
Especially older white Americans. They freak out. They're crazy.
Traveling around or just living around or whatever they were doing. So they called the cops. So the police, one of the cars kind of went behind him, and he's just minding his business. He's just walking back home, and he could see the lights kind of like these big lights kind of shining at him. But he was just minding his own business, you know. He was not disturbing anyone. He was just barely exercising his Ninth Amendment right. Of walking. Yes, we have that right. Remember, we have the right to walk. We have the right to exercise our legs, which I guess most people, it is just so strange. So he's walking, and then, you know, the cop car stops, and one of the police officers comes and goes to talk to him. You know, hey, what's going on? Where are you going? Is anything wrong? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, everything is good. I'm just walking back home. Well, do you need a ride? And he's like, sure, I would like to get a ride, because it was about 2 miles or something. So it was quite the walk. Late at night, it was super dark. And so the public servant says, okay, I can give you a ride. You can just hop in the back, but first I need your name. I need your name. And he looks at him, is like, well, sir, why? Is there any crime being committed? Am I under investigation? Do you have any RAS, SAF? What's going on? Why do you need my name? Well, I need your name. I need to identify you. He's like, well, that's not going to work, because my name is private, unless you want to contract with me. And it's not really cheap. That name is my private property. It's private.
Just say no to the ride, then. Just say no to the ride. Just say no to the ride. That's it. Just say, you know what? I don't need a ride.
And you know, I can just like, it's available for contracting to do business. But other than that, you know, I'm not just like giving around my name. Well, the cop kind of froze and was like, well, but I need your name. He's like, well, I don't need to give you a name. There is no law that I need to give you my name. As I said, it's private. So can I still get a ride? Oh no, cannot give you a ride. Isn't that interesting? Suddenly he couldn't get a ride. Why? I need to ask you why.
I imagine they don't want someone in the cop car that they don't know if they have warrants or anything. Like, I don't know if I'd take that ride either. I have no idea. Hope I'm not in that scenario. But, like, I think it's pretty obvious why they might want someone's name before they give you a ride.
Why one of the people that needs assistance from his public servant cannot receive that assistance without becoming...
You don't have a right to a ride home from the cop. He was being nice.
Violating his Fifth Amendment right and becoming a witness against himself, because anything provided may and will be used against you. So think about it.
Okay, he wasn't doing anything criminal. He'd be fine.
He gave him the name. Now it goes on the record, right? And is available for create cases, whatever, be put on a record. But since he did not provide the name, that assistance was not available to him. And he's still learning how to work with his public servants and make them perform and everything.
Make them perform. The way that sovereign citizens talk about anyone in public service disgusts me. They are not your personal servants. They are servants of society writ large. They often, they'll go to courthouses and they'll harass the people working there, and they'll be like, "You're my servant, do what I say." They are not your individual servant. They are there providing a public service, and they are still human beings. So you need to be polite, and to not be an asshole, and to not be a demanding prick. It's not that hard to treat people with basic human respect.
Very, very interesting. So there it tells you that it's all about the name, which is the transmitting utility between the private and the public side. And without the name, nothing can happen in the world of the commerce, in the sea of commerce, that maritime admiralty colorable jurisdiction. So
again, they use colorable. They're just wrong.
I just thought that I would really share this with you because it was quite interesting and very entertaining to hear that story of what just happened by merely walking around on a street, on a side of the road. Anyway, this is one of the just quick stories being shared. I'm going to be bringing you more information because some really incredible things are happening. I am so happy and so pleased to see so many people just rising up, speaking up, asking questions. A lot of people are sharing a lot of wisdom, which is so fantastic. We have to be all doing it. We are all doing it from possibly different perspective, because you have to remember that we all are unique and special, and we see the world through different lenses.
Okay, that doesn't mean the law doesn't apply to you.
And there is no right or wrong, because we will all eventually get back home. And so what I really like
there's no right or wrong. I assume by get back home, she's doing like a Christian thing. There's no right or wrong because eventually we'll all die. That's so bleak. Jesus Christ.
Promote is don't be shy. Share your stories. Share your story. Share your journey. Share yourself, because you don't know who you might inspire because of your struggles, because of your accomplishments, because of your observations. This is what we are all doing. We are literally walking each other back home. And what's really incredible is that as we are sharing ourselves with the world, we are becoming better. We are becoming more outspoken. We are learning how to be peaceful, yet stand in our authority, how to stand on our rights, how to know what our rights even are. So many people go out there and they say they study the Constitution. Let me tell you, most people don't even know what it means when the words they are reading, the sentences they are reading.
You don't even read the words right.
I myself was surprised of certain discoveries that I've been making throughout this journey. So, no one was born knowing it all. We all have this universal knowledge coded into our DNA. So we...
Oh, do we now?
We consciously...
That's a claim.
Or superconscious, let me say this, superconsciously we know all that wisdom, which is not owned by one man or woman or some group. It's a universal knowledge. It's the Akashic records where everything is...
Oh no, not the Akashic records! That's a complete batshit conspiracy theory thing, where they think that out there in like another dimension, or maybe it's out there physically, there's basically a library of all human and intergalactic knowledge. All truth is stored in the Akashic records. And they think that you can psychically connect to it. So, like, when crazy people of this variety think they have some new spiritual insight, you could be like, source, and they'll be like, I got it from the Akashic records, which basically means they imagined it. They imagined a thing, and then they said, this isn't my imagination. I'm receiving signals from the special ethereal space library, and it's downloading information into my brain. It's like high-level crazy shit. Bittergrin says, and here I am with my DNA just coding for proteins.
And we have
you gotta get good.
Access to it. And we know in our heart when things resonate, when things do not resonate. And what I've discovered throughout my journey is that there are different ways how we can be looking at specific subject, specific issue. So what I've learned through my journey is not to disregard that some people are doing things differently.
Okay, there's only like 2 minutes left, but she's not even saying anything anymore, so we can move on. We could do some classic David Straight for a little while. Or Cat. do some David Straight. This guy is a pretty prolific sovereign citizen guru. This is a whole talk he did that's almost 3 hours long. We're just going to do a little bit of it, though.
Now, have you walked into a court? What happens? They choose who you are. So aren't they supposed to be your public servants?
There's that public servant thing again. They're servants to the public, not you, the individual member of the public.
Aren't you supposed to be the boss and them the employee?
No, it's not an employee relationship like that. You are a person who is a citizen. They are people who work for the citizenry. But if you are being accused of a crime and need to go to court, that doesn't mean you're in charge of the court. Society writ large is in charge of the court, of which you are a member.
Well, then how come you stood up when the judge walked into the room? Because the minute you stood up, you said, I'm the employee. Employees stand when the boss walks in the room. You know what the boss does when an employee walks up in the room? He leans back in his chair, he puts his feet up on the desk, and he grabs a cigar. Okay? That's what the boss does. So the judge, he walked through the door from his chambers in the courtroom, and the bailiff says, all rise for the Honorable Judge Bob Smith, and everybody stands up. If there's one person sitting down, the judge walks over, and just before he sits in his chair, he scans the room. Do you know the bailiff also scans the room? Because after the court's done, he has to swear an affidavit that no one was sitting when the judge walked in.
Yeah, that's not true. They want you to stand up. It's a matter of decorum. It's a show of respect for the judge. There's a lot of like pageantry in the judicial system, and I normally wouldn't understand something like that, but law is something that's pretty serious, and it's something that is a collective understanding, right? It's something we all do collectively that's dependent upon our investiture within the system and the power that system holds. So I understand the ceremony of the thing. It is establishing ritualistically, basically, that this person is in charge of the room. It's not like a trick. They're not trapping you. It's just a part of the legal system that kind of grants it that seriousness. Again, it's kind of silly, but human behavior is silly. Ritualistic things are important to human beings.
Oh. Okay, he's the witness. Because the guy challenging his jurisdiction is the one that's still sitting. You stand up, you're automatically a citizen. They've got tacit agreement that you're a citizen. They have to get tacit agreement of 4 things.
The court can do, like, you don't have to be a citizen to go to court. You could be a non-citizen and still get in trouble with the law and need to go to court in America.
They're going to presume it.
If you did a crime in a jurisdiction, they have jurisdiction over you.
Okay, first of all, it's all through presumption. Presumption, assumption, hearsay, and previously are the 4 most important words in the law, and they're not going to teach you that in law school, I guarantee it.
Why go to law school? Look how big my belt buckle is. I'm so smart.
Love what they teach us in law school. Nothing. All right. Policy and procedure and how to remain in honor, not dishonor. And they teach us a lot of language and how to be a good secretary and how to do forms in proper manner. What font type size to use and
spacing.
How to space things, and they teach us all that good stuff in law.
These poor people are going to be held in contempt if they go to court. Oh yeah, sovereign citizens listening to people like David Straight get contempt all the time because he's giving them terrible advice.
But they don't teach us the law, and that's an interesting fact. They just don't teach us the law.
Resting Stitch Face, thanks for following.
They don't teach us the origin of the law, they don't teach us where it comes from, and they don't teach proper jurisdiction law. So, anyway, I got a little off track because I get heated on these kind of topics, but forgive me for that. But what they're getting your tacit agreement of is you being a citizen, a person, and a resident. A citizen used to stand for city employee. I'll tell you how it came about.
I don't think that that's true. That feels like a sovereign citizen made-up thing. Let me look up the etymology of citizen real quick. Let's look it up. Citizen etymology. Middle English, from the Anglo-Norman French citizen, alteration probably influenced by denizen, Old French citoyen based on Latin civitas. Let me see, what does it say about this? The original French meaning means city dweller or inhabitant of a city, and that's from 1300. So no, citizen did not stand for government employee. German Cow JJ with 27 months says Subbaby Part 3 in 3D. This Subbaby's name is going to be Friday the 13th Part 3D. And their last name is Jaws 3D.
In the Revolutionary War, King of England left some British soldiers upon this land as citizens to provide the American free men of the world, of America, free men of America, with essential governmental services. So if he left citizens to provide the free people with governmental services, he's trying to take over government right from the get-go, isn't he? But he's also saying an employee of government is a citizen. So don't they offer you a benefits package? Don't they call it privileges and benefits? Ah, same thing your HR representative of your company says, right? Yeah. See, a citizen stood for city employee at that time.
No, it didn't. Again, he's just lying. This guy should go to jail. Like, he's just scamming people, right? There's no way he even believes this. Like, that's such a blatant lie. He's gotta know this is all bullshit, right? Right?
Time. And the 14th Amendment of the Constitution made you all citizens when you were really free men and women, when you were really state nationals, Arizonans. So if you want to take government back, you got to take it back first inside you. Be the men and women, be the sons and daughters of God, be the Arizonan or the Oregonian or the Californian. Stand up and understand.
You guys know those states all have laws on the state level requiring driver's licenses, right?
And what government is, what it means, where our laws come from, what 3 jurisdictions we're in. It's not that complicated. I'm boiling it down to the simplest form I possibly can so everybody can understand it, because we need to teach the masses. You know, since April 11th, 1953, our federal government took over our school systems. They paraded Jane Spalding around as this sweet little old lady school teacher. And what a precious thing she was. If you could think of the best school teacher in the whole world, you'd picture Jane Spalding in your mind. And she sold the states on standardized education, on the auspices of government funding. And they paraded her around every state for 2 years, and they finally...
Okay. I can only do a little bit of him. Let's see what else we have.
In jail, Your Honor, and call the case of People v. Milton Hensley, case number 23S18766FH. Defendant is present via Zoom from our jail. He is in co-per, I believe so.
Speak on.
All right, Mr. Hensley, how are you today?
Objection. My legal.
All right. So, Mr. Hensley.
The first word out of his mouth was objection. It's probably not great.
We've been through this before. I'm going to call you by the name that's found on the information here.
You have my nationality information. You have my.
So, Mr. Hensley.
Moorish citizen, when they bring up the nationality stuff, that's usually indicative that they are a Moorish citizen, which is a subset of sovereign citizenship that involves a lot of bullshit fake history about the origin of black people in America. It's a whole thing.
Are you representing yourself today?
I'm persona sui juris.
All right. Are you representing yourself today, sir?
Propria persona sui juris.
All right, so Mr. Hensley, I'm not certain what you mean by that phrase. All I'd like to know is whether you're representing yourself today or not. We've had this conversation many times previously. It's up to you, sir. All right, so Mr. Hensley, you don't have a response for the court?
Well, you don't know what proper persona sui juris is? That means somebody presenting themselves.
People usually use the term pro se these days. I think the other one is a more antiquated version, and I think they use it because the direct translation is slightly different. One of them means to represent oneself, and the other is like to represent on behalf of oneself. It's a distinction without a difference, basically, but sovereign citizens, you know how they get very focused on semantics. So they choose one that fits more what they believe, that they're representing oneself. I'm not presenting for myself, I am myself.
All right.
It doesn't matter, it's the same thing.
So is that what you want to do, is represent yourself today?
I'm presenting myself, Islam, yes.
Okay, and then as we've talked about several times, you understand that representing yourself can put you at a disadvantage to other folks like the people who have attorneys that are representing them. Do you understand that?
No, I do not.
Okay, what don't you understand about that?
None of it.
You don't understand any of it?
I don't understand how it's a disadvantage.
You don't understand what?
Did you say the disadvantage?
Yes.
How's the disadvantage?
Because you don't know the law.
In what term? In what manner?
So the disadvantage would be that they're familiar with the rules of court, that they're trained lawyers and the rules of evidence and things of that nature, things that we've discussed many, many times.
So are we talking about law, or are we talking about codes?
We're talking about statutes, we're talking about court rules, we're talking about case authority. Do you understand that you could be at a disadvantage?
I understand law. Are we discussing law or
I'm not gonna play this game. Hey, Deputy, I want you brought over here in person. We'll put this all on the record.
Yeah, I think he's a Moorish citizen.
We're gonna put this on the record in person. We're gonna get Mr. Hensley sentenced today, and we'll make a complete record, as complete as we can, but I wanna do that in person because we can do this all morning via Zoom, and it's just not very conducive to that. So if he can be brought over, and then we'll continue with our doctor until we see him here. What do we have next that we can do?
Yes, sir, we call the case. 8766 F8 person. He is in Coker.
So a little bit later, they bring him into the court physically.
For sentencing, and in front of him at the podium, I've provided 2 copies of his right to appellate.
All right. So Mr. Hensley, we are back this morning for Circuit Court sentencing. He's appearing in person. We did try to start this earlier with him remote at the jail. It just made more sense for the court to have him present where we're not trying to talk through Zoom. So, Mr. Hensley, here we are again today, sir.
That shirt in court is a choice. That's his jail shirt. That's not like just a shirt he has. He's in custody right now. Oh, well, no, he's wearing tennis shoes. Would they give him is that just his shirt? I guess I assumed when I watched this over earlier, I assumed he had been coming from the jail, so I assumed it was a jail shirt. But no, he's got all his normal clothes otherwise, so that is it's just his shirt. Okay. All right, and sunglasses in court. That's a good look.
First, I want to start with this. When I arraigned you a couple weeks ago, you were given the opportunity to request court-appointed counsel, and you were also given the opportunity for the last several months to retain your own counsel. Are you representing yourself today, sir?
Do they let you have your own shoes in jail? I don't know how jail works. I've never been in jail.
Objection for the record.
Luckily.
Make the record.
Except grippy sock jail.
Reflect.
But that's a different thing. They didn't let us have our shoes.
My appellation is Malik. Title is Bait. Moorish American National under Islam.
Yep, Moorish American.
Anything else?
Proper persona sui juris.
All right. So, sir, the information that I have in front of me has your listed name as Milton Joseph Hensley Jr. So we've been through this before.
Did they arrest me? No, they took me in an ambulance to the mental ward. I do have some grippy socks someone got me in remembrance of it, though, so that's nice.
Respectfully, I'm going to call you by the name that is listed in the information.
No, he's not blind.
Mr. Hensley.
He's just wearing sunglasses in court.
So, Mr. Hensley, do you wish to proceed by representing yourself today?
At least
sir?
I think.
Over my Fifth Amendment right.
All right. You don't wish to answer any questions from the court?
Over my Fifth Amendment right.
All right. So you're not going to answer the court when I'm asking, do you wish to proceed representing yourself today for circuit court sentencing? You wish to do that, Mr. Hensley?
Objection. My appellation is Malik. My title is Vic.
All right. So then let's get this on the record. As far as the PSI, Ms. Bond, it would appear that the court has a copy of this. Mr. Butler apparently has it. And then what do you know about Mr. Hensley receiving this copy?
That he was emailed a copy, and it's my understanding one was picked up at the office by someone.
All right.
Thanks, Harold Edelman.
So, Mr. Hensley, have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence report, sir?
Objection. My appellation is Malik. Title is Vic. And for the record, you have my nationality information within your files. So
hey,
you
Nemesis.
know my appellation.
All right. So when was our PSI completed, Ms. Bond? Looks like 2/29/04.
Yes.
Pettit reviewed it. And so after the review, that would have went out to all the parties sometime in March. Okay.
Just while I'm pulling this up, it appears that there would have to be an addition in jail credits.
Okay.
As he was arrested on the bench warrant. There's an additional 12 days from 4/18 of 24 to today.
So we can make that correction and update the jail credit.
The PSIs were sent out on 2/29 today.
So I also want the record to reflect, I've seen Mr. Hensley several times as it relates to sentencing. He had been appearing for all of his court appearances. He had been cooperating with the court as it relates to expressing his desire to represent himself in these proceedings. He's never wavered from that, which is why the court is inquiring again today. I recognize that sentencing is an important part of the circuit court process. It's certainly a hearing, if you will, that would require and entitle, I should say, the defendant to the assistance of an attorney, which is why I'm asking. However, the court is balancing that with the idea that this circuit court sentencing date has been delayed several times, and the court can't help but glean at this point it just appears to be a delay tactic. The court, we sift that back through the dates, has given Mr. Hensley several times to hire counsel. He expressed that interest. Again, it appears in hindsight that it's simply a delay tactic. Court has given Mr. Hensley several times, actually not even with the sentence that the court's required to give here in a moment, keeping him out on bond to do those things, explore counsel. Even after being arrested on the warrant when he failed to appear, court also gave him the opportunity again to request court-appointed counsel. In fact, the public defender's office appeared at his arraignment. Mr. Hensley Bays had the ability to fill out the affidavit and request counsel. Here this morning, in response to the court's questioning, he does not appear interested in answering the court's questioning. Again, it appears to be a delay tactic. I am comfortable that the pre-sentence report has been provided months ago to Mr. Hensley. I am comfortable Mr. Hensley has been given ample opportunity either to retain counsel, to ask a court-appointed counsel, and therefore the court's going to proceed with sentencing today. I can't continue to allow this delay of the matter in what appears to simply be at this point, series of incidents and responses, or lack thereof, responses simply to delay the matter. I know Mr. Hensley's been engaged with this. We have several filings that are not court filings that he has continued to send to the clerk's office, some of which he has referenced, none of which have anything to do with the case and or the court's requirement to get him sentenced now that he has been convicted several months ago of these crimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with then Mr. Buckler. As it relates to the PSI, are you aware of any corrections, additions, or deletions that need to be made with it other than what we've already put?
I gotta look up what a PSI is.
I would just ask the court to take a look at offense variable 4 regarding psychological injury to the victim. We did receive a victim impact statement. It looks like it came from Robert, who was the male occupant of the vehicle. In this case, the victim.
Gotcha. Pre-sentence investigation. Basically, it looks into the convicted person's background and determines if they have a criminal history and a variety of things. Information for the judge to have that they can base their sentencing on. That makes sense.
We received that just this morning about 2 hours ago. By email. So I can read that. I do believe it references facts to validate scoring for week 4.
All right, so why don't you read that?
This is from Rob.
I got a $15 tip. It didn't show up in my feed, but thank you very much. I just noticed it because I was on my phone. So thank you for the tip.
Al, he says, I do have things to say to the judge and the proceedings that I would like to be read during sentencing below. Your Honor, I apologize for not being here in person today, but I could not find the time again to keep seeing this through.
I want to see if I can skip forward to when the SovCit talks again.
To kill people because of this.
And everybody went through the
daughter and his wife, both of them were in the car at the time. I think that would validate 1 10 points.
I object to that.
No, I think they were trying to cover like private information with the chicken sounds, like someone's address or personal. I don't know.
So
might have been the victim's name.
Hensley, what is your objection?
Tell him prove everything he's saying. If his wife and everybody went through the trauma, show me the doctor did and report that he went through it. Because I can't believe somebody that was slamming the brakes on the interstate at 75, 80 miles per hour deal with trauma. You could have killed us and everything behind me. Ain't no such thing as you got trauma for you slamming your brakes.
All right.
Sir, you were convicted. This is not the time for that argument. And showing that much disdain for the victims or whatever is not gonna go well for your sentencing.
Prove it.
All right, so sir, I am going to grant
script like you coming from a movie or something.
I'm going to grant the request for scoring OB4 based on the victim impact statement here. It does appear to meet the definition. Now, OB4, for the record, psychological injury to a victim could be scored 10 points if the serious psychological injury may require professional treatment, and in making the determination, the fact that the treatment has not been sought is not conclusive. First, we have the issue of the 9-year-old in the car, apparently with special needs, and dad, victim, has expressed in that statement that was just read into the record how this is still affecting the minor child. And that makes sense in court as it relates to somebody that's 9 years old and was observing somebody pull up next to them and point a handgun at them.
You pointed a gun? Oh God, it's not even just a traffic thing. What are you So earlier when he was like, oh, you can't get traumatized because you slammed your brakes, you pointed a gun at them. You can't point guns at people. Ah!
For the record.
Mr. Hensley.
You pointed a gun at a 9-year-old special needs child? What in the fuck is the problem with our species? We are so done. Oh my God.
You've been convicted of that, sir, by the court.
We're going to have our day. We will have our day.
So please let me finish, and then I certainly will give you the opportunity to address the court before sentencing. And then also, pursuant to the statement that was just read into the record from the wife, who also was in the car, according to the testimony at the trial, she is not only suffering from the effects of this, has sought treatment and continues to seek treatment, which is in line with the OV scoring guidelines that professional treatment may be required, in fact has been, and is still being engaged. So we'll score 10 points for OV4. So that will change our total OVs to 35. And does that change the level?
Good, Your Honor, it changes it to a level 4. And so a C4 cell is going to be 523. So
all right. Any other additions, corrections, or deletions from the people?
No, nothing from the people, and no, nothing else from the people.
So you've read the statement into the record, then nothing else from victims?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And then anything on behalf of then the people?
Your Honor,
Schifazoa says, hey, Hannah, look at it from this point of view. You can't point a gun at an adult. They might fight back.
recommendation on 0 to 17.
That's a way of thinking.
Guideline range is 12 months on count 1 and 2, and 2 years on count 3 preceding the count 2 sentence. The people did initially support that, but with the change in the sentencing guideline range, obviously this does open up, Your Honor, to more opportunity for incarceration if you so choose, and we would leave that at discretion. But otherwise, we ask that you at least follow the recommendation as intended by Henry.
All right. So, Mr. Hensley, I'm going to give you the opportunity before I ask you to address the court for sentencing. Do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions as it relates to the pre-sentence report? Do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions?
All those accusations are false, and none of them have been proven.
Okay.
You went to court.
And he talking with this story.
As it relates to this report, do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions? Excuse me?
No, I don't have a report.
All right. So, as it relates to sentencing, is there anything that you want to state to the court before a sentence is imposed?
I have my medical information. I have stage 3 cancer. I have head trauma. I have neck and back injury or something with a dry foot. For the record.
Anything else then, Mr. All right. So Mr. Hensley has provided, it is accurate, information regarding different medical issues that he is suffering and is suffering today, as a matter of fact. However, as the court sat through this trial, it's clear to the court that what Mr. Hensley was engaged in is troubling. The testimony of these victims where they were traveling on westbound I-96, minding their
Hillary Clinton, thanks for following.
Own business.
Is it time to Pokemon go to the polls again?
Hensley's vehicle.
Oh God, did you see the thing Kamala Harris did? Oh Jesus. Every Democrat should be fucking ashamed of themselves for their inability to read the room. Kamala Harris opened like a thing for youth to get excited about voting, and it's called like Central 67. It's some name that includes the 6-7 meme, which is like a thing like little children like. I'm so confused. Why? Why are the Democrats like this?
Comes up behind them, high rate of speed. The victim described with great clarity.
I've never been into the whole, like, controlled opposition conspiracy theory, but oh boy, I'm starting to wonder how it would look any different.
How close Mr. Hensley and his vehicle were to them, to the point they were extremely uncomfortable. Did not, hold on, Mr. Hensley, let the court finish, okay? To the point that they thought they were going to be struck. The victim, I recall, describing being unable to even see the front of Mr. Hensley's vehicle. That's how close it was, meaning the grille, headlights. I recall the testimony. And that they immediately
I'm honestly just impressed that someone actually got the Hillary Clinton name.
Victim then went on to describe that Mr. Henley pulled up next to them and pointed a handgun in this manner. Of course, pointing over to the right and directly at these individuals. The victim described how he reached back, sort of to shield.
The best thing would be if it was actually Hillary Clinton and I just made fun of her to her face. That would be a dream, actually.
His family, and that they were getting down as best they could. Now, all of that, I think, is certain.
Normal Gamer Gal, thanks for 28 months, says, yay, finally managed to catch one live. Well, I'm glad you did.
The actions that would cause the victims here to feel their life was in danger. Somebody point.
Quasispec, thanks for 1,000 bits and kicking off a hype train. If you want to help out the hype train, you can always gift subs, become a subscriber, or use bits.
I've gotten it then. The fact that somebody is tailgating that closely behind them on the highway at speeds of 70, 75, 80 certainly puts people in danger, could cause people to be incredibly uncomfortable about what's going to happen next. But it's a long way, Mr. Hensley, the court saying, having sat through the trial, you create the situation by driving in a manner that makes these folks uncomfortable, by coming up on them at a high rate of speed and following it now that closely.
Objection, man.
Mr. Hensley.
I drive a BMW. Anybody with an autopilot vehicle, you know for a fact it won't do that.
Right.
That's a fact.
So Mr.
Oh, you're putting way too much credence into the auto drive features on cars.
That's what he's giving you on out of his mouth. A fact. An automobile will not get up on nobody. Automatically jam brakes. I told you the BMW does that.
The trial is over. You had an opportunity to cross-examine.
It is quite literally over. Oh no.
Witnesses.
He's in denial that the trial is done.
Yeah, and
that's not good.
Everything I said.
Yeah, court
and you heard everything that they said was a lie.
So now
you know it was a lie.
Let the court finish. All right. So the testimony was as the court has described, and there is no doubt that all of those actions Mr. Hensley is responsible for. That's the ironic part of it. He creates the situation that causes discomfort for these drivers, and then he's the individual that introduces
Normal Gamer Gal, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs and getting us over level 2.
Gun to the situation.
Thank you so much.
Court heard 404B evidence that was remarkably similar, where Mr. Hensley is right on the bumper of a young lady, Grand Rapids, Kent County area, and then when she is very uncomfortable and pulls over and stops, Mr. Hensley again introduces a gun, pointing it at that individual. Now, I mentioned this.
Oh, hell yeah, we got the king cake. I'm going to eat some of that later.
Because
Jeff, thanks for 100 bits.
Not using that as it relates to a sentencing issue. I'm using that, and that it's clear Mr. Hensley drives in a manner that endangers other people, that causes them to report his activity to other people. And then when they attempt to evade, if you will, what Mr. Hensley has caused, then he introduces a gun to the situation. Now, Mr. Hensley, I don't have to tell you that it's
share with the class. What if I could?
Fairly obvious that in today's world, right? Today's world of shall issue CPLs, that even if you believe somehow
they stopped putting the babies in king cakes because people were choking and dying from them. Cowards! You absolute cowards!
You're justified.
Put that baby in there, you fucks!
And displaying a weapon. And for the record,
speaking of gratuitous swearing, I finally tried to watch Has Been Hotel, and I watched the first 2 episodes, and it was the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's nothing.
If you like the show, that's fine. I'm not mad at you. It's fine. It's not for me, though.
In this trial.
It's like every theater kid you've ever known morphed into every character on the show. It's something.
Nothing this court heard with the 404B evidence or the incident at hand here that we're sentencing you on that would suggest that in any way, shape, or form that you were not responsible, that you had any legal justification to introduce a weapon to it. But even assuming in your own mind that you were, what happens with that in today's world is they would have a very easy avenue to articulate, I felt.
Did I try Hell of a Boss? No. I disliked Has Been Hotel so much. I don't even know if I want to try Hell of a Boss, to be honest. They're made by the same people. There's no way it's that different. Everyone is just swearing constantly and being hypersexual for no reason. It just grinds on me. M. Scheffler with 100 bits says, hype, damn it, hype! 42% to level 3 on the hype train.
In fear for my life or great.
Have I at least heard the music? From what? I heard music in the first 2 episodes of Has Been Hotel. I did not care for it.
Bodily harm, and assuming they were lawfully carrying a gun, could take action. Shoot you, in other words. And I can remember just in little Ione County, an incident that occurred just a few blocks from here, in which an individual was tailgating a lawful CPL holder going right down Steel Street over here. And so that individual, much like here, got over, pulled into the car wash to get away from this guy.
Ultimate Undying, thanks for gifting a sub.
And the guy behind him pulls
Minute left on the hype train.
in behind him, much like in the 404B evidence I heard with you. And so what happens is the CPL holder, what is this guy doing? He's crazy. He pulls his gun. Now, you can argue whether he could articulate at that time, whether he felt his life was in danger of death or great bodily harm. But regardless, so what happens is the tailgater, he then also was a valid CPL holder, and he pulls his gun. And guess what they did? They shot each other, and they both died. The ironic thing is maybe it's the one time that a government program worked 100%, because to get a valid CPL, you have to take this course, do all those things. And part of that is shooting your gun 15 times or something. I can't remember.
I worked on all the call. I knew about the CPL.
Yeah, well, my point is, so they both hit their mark and they're dead. And it's started from something just like this. And so my point in demonstrating the story to you, retelling the story, is when you engage in this kind of behavior, it puts your own life at risk. Put your own life at risk. And that you are lucky that hasn't occurred to you, but you certainly have frightened the heck.
Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
Out of people with what I heard in this trial. You certainly were in the wrong, and you're not a valid CPL holder. That's the other problem.
Because I don't need it.
All right, well, I recognize you think that you have some fundamental rights that I'm not aware are found either in state or federal constitution, and you certainly can take those up on review, right?
I'm already in Western District Court already.
So that's fine. Okay. You can appeal anything that you'd like, any reason you think you have a valid appeal, but they're simply not found in state or federal constitution. And so here we are today. So that's how we end up.
Oh shit, welcome Raiders. Hi, I'm Hannah. Thanks, Queen Pib. Make sure you check out Queen Pib's channel here on YouTube, or on Twitch rather. I'm actually almost done with the stream, but we do tons of fun stuff over here. I'm Hannah. We're looking at sovereign citizens today, people who basically believe the law doesn't apply to them. They believe in a bunch of pseudo-legal stuff. They think they don't need driver's licenses or insurance on their vehicles. They often don't pay taxes. Lots of crazy stuff. This guy is getting sentenced right now because he got in a car accident and pulled a gun on the people who were driving the other vehicle. He doesn't think he needs any sort of like gun license. He's blaming the other people for the accident. It's a shit show. Thanks for the shout out for Queen Pib. Definitely check out Queen Pib at that link.
A concealed weapon, felonious assault. felony firearm. And what the court likes to do, Mr. Hensley, is I'm reviewing
Zerzion,
this.
the
I will say
Pandalorian, thanks for following.
this, I'm weighing positively in a positive manner here. You stand before the court at age 50, you don't have any prior criminal history.
Exactly.
Which is somewhat remarkable when I heard about the 404B evidence. So
Exactly.
I don't know how that didn't result in some sort of crime, but it
He's
did.
wearing his sunglasses in court.
And I'm recognizing that, and I'm going to recognize that in the sentence I'm going to impose here in a minute. We do have
Densetsu says, I hope Hannah doesn't end up on crazy has-been haters. I'm not a hater. If you like Has-Been Hotel, that's great. It's clearly got a lot of effort put into it. The animation is really cool. Clearly the people who work on Has-Been Hotel are putting everything into it. It's just not for me. That's all I'm saying. It's not for me. It's not my thing. But I'm very happy for the people who enjoy it. I'm certainly not a hater.
the sentencing guideline now, which is 5 to 23 months. Court likes to think about the middle. The middle of 5 to 23 is going to be 14. And I also want to recognize that you don't have any prior criminal history, and that I will also recognize until lately that you've been cooperative with the court. You showed up to court, that you, as far as I could tell, did your very best to represent yourself, and were adamant about doing so and took this matter seriously. All of those things, I think, are things the court can weigh that are positive to you. The negative, though, sir, is the outcome of this is your actions and one causing this and then making it worse with introducing the gun and pointing it at this family on the date in question.
Can they prove that?
They did. You went to court. This is the sentencing, but the guy is still adamant, like, you haven't proven this. Like, in the legal sense, they absolutely have proven it. You had a trial. You were found guilty. The legal proof was proffered. It has been confirmed by a jury.
That beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. I recognize
he thinks you can like a conviction, which isn't how any of this works.
Disagree with that
because you had
asked the court to decide it,
photos,
and
you had
the court
video,
decided it.
You had somebody's mouth.
Those are all evidentiary issues that you again can explore on appellate review, sir. You're welcome to do that.
Yes.
All right. So as it relates to the carrying a concealed weapon, all right, so carrying the concealed weapon.
Why do they continue to do this? Do they just refuse to understand it will never work? They believe that they have tapped into a secret part of the law that no one else knows, which is insane because that doesn't even make sense. So the law is, not something that exists out in nature. It's agreements and understandings between people and groups of people. But they think they found secret law that always absolves them of whatever particular crime they've committed.
Weapon is
it never goes in their favor, but they are still delusional about it. I find delusion fascinating. I've dealt with delusion myself. I know what it's like. It's like a hyper interest of mine. That's why I cover conspiracy theorists too, because they believe some wacky things.
For charge number 1, court's gonna impose
like flat earthers. I love to listen to flat earthers. They're nuts. They're so wrong about everything, but they're so confident, and they've built such a rich worldview to follow the crazy. It's incredible.
A sentence of 12 months to 5 years. That's under.
Ever since that Living Man guy, yeah. I'm thinking after this video, which is almost done, since we have raiders, I'm going to show them a couple of videos of sovereign citizens that are more explanatory as to what they are, because this guy is not a good example. He's certainly a sovereign citizen, but he's not giving all the talking points.
There's a minimum guideline range of, or the middle, I should say, of what the court was looking
Lady
at.
Lady Kirsty, thanks for following.
Months. So it'd be 1 year to 5 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections, and you do have credit now for 14 days that you have previously served. As it relates to felony $40.
I don't even know if he says anything else.
One for you. This is something that you want to file a petition, and if you want this.
All right, let me show you the Living Man. He's great. So this will be a classic for my regular people, if it pops up. The living man is the guy in the hat. I think he's passed away since this, but he was like an early sovereign citizen that was caught on video.
He is not represented by counsel here today. Mr. Tertelget has been charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses, which we'll be trying today.
I must object. I am not the name that he is referring to. I am the living man. The name that Mr. Riley refers to, ma'am, is held by the state.
The dying man. Oh no.
In all capital letters and is identified by the state on the state's driver's license, ma'am. I am not the all capital fiction. I am the living man whose mark is that of life. It is called a signature, and the nature of that sigil, ma'am, is the living person. It is never in all capital letters.
Okay, so the all capital letters thing is part of the mythology where they believe that on official documents and stuff, court documents specifically, your name will generally be all capitalized. The real reason for this is legibility. It makes it easier to read people's names because it's in all capital letters. However, sovereign citizens have taken this to mean that because it's in all capital letters, they're not actually talking about you. They're talking about your straw man, which is a fictional character that they believe the government comes up with that gives the government authority over you. Now, this isn't how authority works. This isn't how jurisdiction works. The government has power over you because they have, frankly, cops and, like, judicial systems and the ability to put you in jail for not following the rules, right? They have power compared to you. But these people have come up with all sorts of arcane misunderstandings so they can feel like the court has no jurisdiction over them.
Allow Mr. Riley to continue
Ma'am,
and you will have an
I must
opportunity.
object, ma'am. Without proper evidence of oath and bond as required, and I am backed, ma'am, by 20 United States Supreme Court cases to this end, it should have been brought to my hand more than a month ago, and no evidence has been brought forward of any competency of any of this. I have to speak for myself, ma'am. No one here is capable of doing it, and particularly those that are bar or non-bar.
Yeah, he doesn't trust lawyers. None of them trust lawyers. They think the lawyers are secretly working for Great Britain.
They can only speak, ma'am, to the legal. My interest is to forfeit my person's living name.
Your Honor, this is an improper objection in violation of the motion in limine.
The objection is, Mr. Talbot, you are not to interrupt Mr. Riley again.
Ma'am?
He has his 30 minutes. Then you will have an
Who can tell the living man
It is the living man. We had a raid, so I'm showing him to some of the raiders.
in a commercial event such as this,
Sir,
who has the right to tell the living man when he can speak and when he cannot speak, what sounds he can make and what sounds he cannot make?
you understand?
He is addressing British law, ma'am. He is a minister on behalf of Great Britain.
I'm going to hold you in contempt if you continue to disrupt this.
Ma'am, without oath and bond, contempt has already been established here.
30 days in jail, or you will be removed
In the
from
face of
court.
all these witnesses, ma'am, where is the evidence of oath and bond, ma'am?
Cannot talk.
Look,
Now, do you continue to disrupt?
the requirement is right here, ma'am. It is through all ranks of the court, ma'am. I have done due diligence and due process, ma'am. Eye to eye, I faced those who would come against me. I communicated properly. I backed up my work. I backed up the research. It's nice and neat. And I have total failure. I have total incompetency of the court because
That
there
reminds
is
me, did they ever find Desi Freeman? Is he still on the lam?
no evidence.
Desi Freeman is a sovereign citizen who some months ago in Australia shot multiple cops and killed them, and then he ran into the outback, and I think they never found him. I don't think they found him.
Of Mr.
I
Riley.
think I would have heard about that if they found him.
Office, nor of yours, ma'am, nor of this lady's here, nor even the fine police officers that are here today. I have nothing to work with now.
No sign as of 2 days ago. Jesus. So he either died in the wilderness or genuinely is being, like, held somewhere by a friend or something, and he's just hiding.
Now I'm out here hanging over the abyss. I must make my own way.
I know that it's hot and there's poisonous, but he's supposed to be like a bushman. Like, he's supposed to be someone who knows how to survive in the wilderness. He was like one of those guys.
And you will be allowed
In Australia, specifically.
that, but allow Mr. Riley.
Why, please give me an honorable answer, is a British recognized esquire asking questions in an American courtroom? Why his title of nobility?
No, the lawyer is not British, sir.
He applied behind this gentleman's name that is recognized as being banned from our country in the 1789 Constitution. Is nobody going to stand for our Constitution?
Allow this, I'm telling you.
I cannot, ma'am. In honor of the Constitution of the United States, I cannot allow a man who carries British recognition for the purposes of British ministerial law to continue to persecute me. I cannot, ma'am. I have to honor the founders, ma'am. I honor the memory of those who fought and died that we could be free of this very type of thing.
You'll be taken up to a jury room where you may watch the proceedings.
Stand up.
I have reminded you.
If I stand up, I give you recognition.
Stand up.
No, pick me up. I cannot give you recognition. I'm constrained
Pick
by the
me
United
up.
States Constitution of 1789. Sir, you're a Bozeman native. What are you doing packing a British recognition? Should be ashamed of yourself. Gentlemen, this is an overthrow of the 1789 Constitution, an overthrow of the Bill of Rights. It is an overthrow of Title 26 United States Code, and above all, it is an overthrow of universal law. Would one of you remove my bolo tie and return it to somebody in the crowd, please, so that it doesn't disappear from this place?
You think someone's gonna steal your bolo tie?
Hear that moment. Okay.
I don't think so.
See to it my stuff makes it back in my bag. I do have a duly appointed court representative, ma'am. He has made his way through everything.
Okay.
He will speak as my voice.
Jesus Christ. So he had a lot of court appearances, but, you know. Okay, is there anything else I wanted to watch today? How long is the Cataspinda thing? She's something. I love Cat. She's crazy.
Hello, everyone. This is Cataspinda with One New Earth, and welcome to my show. Today, I'm here to talk to you about your mortgage. Are you paying a mortgage? Well, let me tell you something. All mortgages are fraud.
They are not. She stopped paying her mortgage for sovereign citizen reasons. Basically, she got it in her head, because a lot of sovereign citizens believe this, that each citizen of the United States has a secret account the government created that has millions or billions of dollars in it. And she got the idea that when you get a mortgage and you buy a house, the bank doesn't give you money. They take the money out of your super secret billionaire account the government has for everyone. So she thinks because the bank doesn't give you anything, that there's no consideration, and therefore the mortgage contract is a fraud. She tried to stop paying her mortgage and to take this to court, and she lost her house and her car because she decided to stop paying on that as well. And it's basically ruined her life. She's still adamant she's right, though. How much to not watch this dumbass? Sorry.
That's right. All mortgages are fraud. And there is one of the biggest scams, probably next to COVID-19.
Oh, she's a general conspiracy theorist, too. She's a big Trump supporter. She'd like her political enemies to be murdered. All that fun stuff.
On this world perpetrated by the world central bankers, the attorneys, the judges, they know what's going on, and they're deathly afraid for the people to find out what the scam is. Well, I am here to talk about the scam today, and there are ways I believe we as people can fight the system. One way to fight the system is to believe the system, and that means to not pay taxes.
She is gonna go to jail so hard someday.
Now, on income
I kind of wish they'd let her live stream from jail,
taxes, as many of
but they won't.
you know, if you revoke your election, because we do live in a voluntary system, a voluntary tax system, that's why you volunteered to sign your life away to the tax.
It's not voluntary. When they say it's a voluntary tax system, they mean it's your responsibility to file your taxes, basically. It's not like you have a choice in the matter, except if your choice is file your taxes or go to jail.
Club when you got your first job and turned in that first W-2 form with your easy form, and your parents were conditioned to tell you to do that. This is a long-term plan, folks. This has been a 5-generation plan to deceive us and move us into the New World Order. So again, there is no law that says that we have to pay income taxes.
There is.
Not one law.
Again, she could Google this. She could Google it, but I guess that's too much work.
So if you're interested in revoking your election, please.
Terradona says, here's how I'm going to get released with this paperwork I'm filing. See, that's why I want her to be able to stream in jail. Give her an iPad.
Contact me.
We'll crowdfund it.
Visit my website at onenewearth.org, and then I will be able to help you claim your freedom. And I advocate for people to start weaving themselves out of the system, because it is a satanic system. And this banking system is also a satanic system under the premise of death, and that we are just vessels floating around in the water, dead, corporate corporations. And we need
she put it on screen
to understand.
They believe that the United States government sees yourself as a dead entity, as a straw man, or as a corporation. All these things they're doing is to try and separate their legal liability from themselves as a person. It's all nonsense, but they keep trying to define themselves away from the government having authority over them.
And overstand where we are at.
And they don't say understand, they say overstand, because they think when you say I understand, it means I stand under your authority, and therefore you're giving away your authority to the government.
Because if we don't start paying
a lot of it's word games,
attention, if we keep watching Netflix and working 80 hours a week and dropping our kids off at state-run schools that are just, they're meant to brainwash them, because they're not teaching any truth, and they're giving them very minimum education. If we don't start standing up against this atrocity against the good men, women, and children of our great earth, then we are going to be led into slavery. We're already consumer taxation slaves, but I'm talking full-on slavery, where everybody gets a barcode.
She's using footage from oh my god, it's Kathy, don't go to the supermarket.
You don't think it's real?
Kathy, don't go to the supermarket today. No. That means Kataspinda is familiar with SOS. That's incredible.
Of course it's real. It's, AI is pretty much running everything right now. It's learning your every single move. It knows you better than you know yourself. So how do we as people, again, combat this? Number one, like
I can't play it. I get pinged on YouTube for it.
Bleed the system.
I get copyrighted for it now.
Not paying taxes. And
if we were on a Twitch-only stream, I could, but I can't.
We can legally and lawfully, thanks to Congress, revoke our election. So again, contact me on my website if you have any questions about this, or if you're serious about wanting to do this. I would set up a Zoom call with you so we can go over it, because I want as many people to realize their freedoms as much as possible. The only thing you don't qualify to revoke your election if you work for Washington, D.C., because, that's a foreign nation. That's really the United States of America corporation. So
it's not.
You basically have to be attached. If you're attached to that in any way.
Is that cult still around? I'm actually not sure.
If you live,
regardless of whether or not the cult is around, whoever they hired to do the music might be
there. If you have an address there, if you work for a company that contracts with DC, then you do not qualify to revoke your election. It's required that you are a United States citizen, which is what you volunteered for, because you didn't just get automatically set up into that part of the system. You were only in the, you only at that point went through the birth certificate and healing process. So the second way that we can fight the system, which is the banks. So think of this, your bank, a building in every city, buildings all over, where we all take our money. But it's not even money, it's debt. Because see, they just print money over and over and over. They approve digits and apply them to purchases and sales over and over again.
She's a gold bug.
And so they're doing all this, right? And then what they do is, for your mortgage, for instance, here we go where the fraud comes in. Oh my goodness, look at this house. I really want to buy it. So you go to your bank or you go to a lending institution because you don't have $300,000 laying around, right? Because we are in such a debt society that we've just been conditioned to think that is the norm. So we go in and we say, Mr. Banker, we would need a bank. We need to get a loan on a home, a loan. And they're like, sure,
She was the CEO of a property management corporation, not a realtor.
We provide that at this amount of interest. You have to sign a contract, and you have to sign a 30-year death pledge, a mortgage. Mort means death, so it's a death pledge.
Yeah, I don't think that's the origin of mortgage as a term.
And so they make you.
I can look that up.
Spend like a month and a half of your time, and then you get that phone call. They're like, guess what? You were.
Nope, she's actually right with that one. Old French word mortgage, which directly translates to death pledge. She's right on that one.
For the home loan, and everybody gets all excited because, the time's coming and they're going to get that key so that they can go in. And then you have to sign a mountain of paperwork, in an hour and a half. And you don't have a lawyer, of course. You're just going to sign it all because you just want to get into your house. And if you back out, you lose a whole lot of money and the potential to move into the home of your dreams.
Yeah, it's a pretty big decision buying a house. At that point, you really don't want to back out.
They market it in a way with Hollywood and make it just look like so amazing, but Hollywood's a part of the system to shape our minds and our psyches to what we should believe and what we should think. So but in the beginning of this process, here's the funny part. They go, okay, well, if you want a home, we need to have you fill out this application and we need to pull your credit.
Hey, Will Cal.
Double meaning, pulling your credit, the credit from your Sestwick-Quavy Trust.
Nope, that's the secret bank account she thinks people has that don't exist. Again, she thinks every person has a secret bank account with billions of dollars in it. To what end? If it's supposed to be a secret account, why even have that money? You know how much money that would be? Billions per every person? That would be more money than actually exists on Earth. What are you... Fenekagami says, I really wish that people understood how democracy works and could properly gauge how popular things are. So many people think, well, Trump won, so we need to respect that and just deal with it for 4 years. First of all, we're supposed to be able to impeach our president, and if Congress wasn't captured, he already would be. The second, we should have the right to change our minds, especially if we find out that they lie to us and are actively doing the opposite of what they ran on.
It's coming from there. So basically, you are really taking your own money, or they're taking your money out of your trust. And
that trust doesn't exist.
And then they're creating the money at the Treasury. In other words, there's no...
Why would they need to create the money if it's coming out of your secret bank account?
Actual transfer of funds that happens between your bank and whoever you're buying the house from. Does that make sense? Now, if you own a company, you know that, by law, if you have a corporation, you have to go by GAAP accounting principles, GA.
Okay, we've probably had enough of Cat, and we're probably done for the day. We've had a lot of sovereign citizens, and the Super Bowl is starting soon, and like I said, I'm not counter-programming that. No one's gonna watch. Does Cat say the T slur? It wouldn't surprise me if she does so privately, but I've never heard her say so on stream. If you're one of the people from the raid, consider following. We do fun stuff all the time, most days. Look at weird belief systems, all that stuff. So consider it. All right, let's see who we're gonna raid.
Oh, so now you
Raid Jeff Holiday. They're doing their passion stream. They watch old soap opera every week. All right, have a good night, everyone. Enjoy the game if you're watching. Enjoy your evening doing whatever if you're not. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.